Chapter 639. Take control of the Zhang family. Although Ningyu really wanted to see if the ghost hatchet god scroll was real, Ningyu didn't act recklessly. First, he separated a strand of his soul power to approach the book. Ningyu carefully approached the book after confirming that there was no danger around the book and the book itself. It took Ningyu a full minute to walk such a short distance. Arriving beside the book, Ningyu took out the soul-chasing sword and picked up the book. There shouldn't be any danger. After some thought, Ningyu sheathed the soul-chasing sword and picked up the book. Ghost Hatchet God Scroll, all-encompassing. Flipping open the book, the first thing that came into view were these 8 words. There's an 80% chance that it's genuine. Ningyu's face lit up, and he hurriedly flipped through the book page by page, wanting to skim through it quickly. However, when Ningyu flipped to the 5th page of the book, he couldn't open it no matter what. Furthermore, no matter how much strength he used, even with the addition of his soul force, he was unable to open the book. Why are there only 5 pages? Ningyu frowned, feeling a little speechless. The ghost hatchet godly scroll had dozens of pages, and he could only open 5 pages. What was the use of it? Moreover, the first 5 pages of the ghost hatchet divine scroll explained how to create and restrain puppets. Forget it, I'll keep it for now. I'll study it when I have time. After pondering for a while, Ningyu gave up on the idea of researching here. After all, this was the forbidden ground of the Zhang clan, and there was no telling what kind of danger he might encounter later on. It was a little too arrogant for him to study the ghost hatchet god scroll here. Furthermore, there was not the slightest bit of vitality left in their bodies. They had to recover to their peak state as soon as possible. Whoosh! Ningyu was not an indecisive person. His figure immediately flashed and entered the secret crystal room. The yuan qi in the crystal chamber was extremely dense, and the yuan qi was infinitely close to liquid. In the secret crystal room, Ningyu was confident that he could completely recover to his peak state within half an hour. In a secret room of the Zhang family, more than a dozen martial artists gathered together. The weakest among them was at half-step yin-yang realm, while the strongest was at mid-stage yin-yang realm. Third elder, it's been a few hours since the first elder and the patriarch left. Why aren't they back yet? A middle-stage yin-yang realm martial artist said in a deep voice. Fourth elder, what are you panicking for? Do you think someone dares to behave atrociously in the Zhang family? The second elder said darkly. The great elder and the patriarch haven't returned yet, but hasn't the second elder also not returned yet? There's no need to worry. How can I not be anxious? The fourth elder said coldly, this is a critical period. If we're not careful, the Zhang family might fall because of this. At this time, everyone should go out and investigate the cause of the ancestor's death instead of waiting here blindly. Hee. What do you mean by waiting blindly? If fourth elder wants to leave, you can leave. No one will stop you, second elder said with a smile. You. Fourth elder's face became cold. He was extremely angry. There's no need to be depressed. Even if the ancestor died in battle, the Zhang family still has the first elder to support them. They won't fall. The second elder smiled and waved his hand. Whoosh! However, just as the second elder was about to say something, his expression changed abruptly. He shouted at the entrance of the secret chamber, Who's there? Why are you so sneaky? Come out. Hee, we're not sneaky. We're doing this openly. A light laugh came from the entrance of the secret chamber. Then 2 figures, one in front and one behind, slowly appeared in front of the crowd. Openly, ha ha ha. Feeling the fluctuation of yuan qi from the 2 figures, everyone in the secret chamber could not help but laugh out loud. The second elder, in particular, was grinning from ear to ear. If you know what's good for you, kneel down and apologize to us. Otherwise, no, who are you? Why are you in the Zhang family? When the second elder first saw the 2 figures, he crossed his arms in front of his chest and stared at them with interest. Suddenly, Zhang Lei seemed to have thought of something and said coldly, "The Zhang family's security is tight. How did you get here? Tell me, and I'll spare your lives." "Of course, we came in from the main entrance of the Zhang family. As for our identities, there's no harm in telling you." Ningyu shrugged and said lightly, "I'm Ningyu, and he's the Dark Emperor." "Ningyu? The Dark Emperor?" Hearing Ningyu's words, Zhang Lei frowned slightly, as if thinking of something. Very quickly, Zhang Lei raised his eyebrows and said darkly, "I was wondering who it was. So it's Ningyu, the number one on the Zhang family's wanted list. There's a way out for you, but you chose to barge into hell. Good, very good. A man and a dog dared to barge into the Zhang family. You're really arrogant. What a pity. This day next year will be the anniversary of your death." From Zhang Lei's point of view, Ningyu's cultivation was only at the pinnacle of the primal core realm. They had more than 10 half-step Yin-Yang realm and Yin-Yang realm martial artists, and 1 or 2 of them would be able to take down Ningyu. As for the black dog that Ningyu mentioned, Zhang Lei did not take it to heart. After all, how powerful could a black dog be? You only have 1 chance. In the past, the Dark Emperor would have flown into a rage after hearing Zhang Lei call him a dog. But now the Dark Emperor seemed to have toned down his temper and did not kill Zhang Lei immediately. Instead, he said, "Submit to me and swear to the heavens, and I might spare your worthless life." "You want to spare my worthless life?" Zhang Lei's face darkened. He waved his hand and said, "Go and take down these 2 arrogant fellows, dead or alive." In the end, Zhang Lei added another sentence. "Sigh, I thought I was arrogant enough. I didn't expect someone to be even more arrogant than me." The Dark Emperor sighed and immediately dashed out. Swoosh! The Dark Emperor was extremely fast as he shuttled back and forth in the room. Slap, slap, slap. The Dark Emperor wasn't just flying around the room. Instead, it was constantly waving its front claws around. There was a continuous paw-paw sound. Every cultivator in the room felt a trace of panic. Zhang Lei's current situation was as though he had seen a ghost. He kept retreating, hoping to avoid the Dark Emperor's attack. Slap! But how could the Dark Emperor let Zhang Lei go? Out of all the martial artists in the room, Zhang Lei was the most injured. In order to satisfy Zhang Lei, the Dark Emperor slapped him dozens of times, causing him to spit out blood and his face to swell. This is the Zhang family. How dare you behave so atrociously in the Zhang family? I think. Uft. Zhang Lei was the 2nd elder of the Zhang family after all. Being slapped by the Dark Emperor in front of so many people, he felt embarrassed and immediately shouted. As soon as he shouted, he spat out a mouthful of blood and his aura dropped to the freezing point. Whoosh! 2 shadows rushed out from the storage ring on Ningyu's wrist and landed beside Ningyu. Chapter 640. Held as scheduled peak late Yin-Yang stage. Feeling the aura emitted by one of the warriors, Zhang Lei's expression changed drastically and his heart sank to the bottom. Including the 4th elder, there were only 2 middle stage Yin-Yang stage cultivators in the secret chamber. In the current situation, not to mention 2 middle Yin-Yang stage warriors, even 4 or 5 of them wouldn't be a match for the peak late Yin-Yang stage warrior. Furthermore, other than the peak late Yin-Yang stage warrior, there was also an extremely powerful black dog. Anyone who refuses to swear an oath to the heavens will be killed without mercy. Ningyu first said to Lung Mian and Sun Jiangwen. Then his figure flashed and he left the secret room. Seeing that Ningyu had left, the Dark Emperor did not stay in the secret room for long and quickly left. "Ningyu, why didn't you control them and let Lung Mian and Sun Jiangwen fight instead?" Outside the secret room, the Dark Emperor was very puzzled. Lung Mian was a member of the imperial family, and Sun Jiangwen was a member of the corpse insect. In the Dark Emperor's opinion, it was somewhat unreasonable for them to control the Zhang family's upper echelons. If they betrayed him, The consequences would be unimaginable. Hee, if you want to spend extra effort to control them, I have no objections. How could Ningyu not know what the Dark Emperor was thinking? That's what you said. As soon as Ningyu finished speaking, the Dark Emperor revealed a happy expression and immediately leaped into the secret room. Seeing the Dark Emperor's actions, the corner of Ningyu's mouth twitched a few times. Actually, he also wanted to personally control the Zhang family's upper echelons, but the strength of his soul force did not support him doing so. After all, every time he controlled a warrior, he would need to consume some soul force. His soul force was only at the peak of the 5th grade, so it was not enough for him to control so many warriors. The Corpse Yin sect has lost 2 warriors at the peak of the Yin-Yang stage here. They will definitely not let this matter rest. I wonder if controlling the Zhang family's upper echelons is right or wrong. Ningyu took a deep breath and muttered. Azura and Guisha were both experts of the Corpse sect. Once the Corpse sect found out that they had died in the Zhang family's forbidden area, they would definitely investigate. After all, compared to the hall masters of the Corpse sect, Azura and Guisha were much stronger, and their cultivation had reached the peak of the Yin-Yang realm. There's no point in thinking so much. We'll deal with whatever comes our way. The Corpse sect's fate realm cultivators will not dare to make a move in the capital. Shaking his head, Ningyu thought to himself, now that I have advanced to the pinnacle of the primal core stage, coupled with the Dark Emperor and the Red Demon, it should be easy for me to fight against a pinnacle of the Yin-Yang stage. Ningyu, who was at the peak of the primal core stage, the Dark Emperor, who was at the early stage of the Yin-Yang stage, and the Red Devil, who was at the early stage of the Yin-Yang stage. Out of the 3 of them, any one of them was a freak among freaks. Individually, they could contend with a late-stage Yin-Yang stage cultivator. If they worked together, it wouldn't be difficult for them to contend with a pinnacle Yin-Yang stage cultivator. If Ningyu could advance to Yin-Yang realm, he could even kill a peak Yin-Yang realm martial artist. Creak! About 20 minutes later, the door of the secret chamber was slowly pushed open from the inside. The Dark Emperor and Lung Mian walked out side by side. Behind them, there were only 5 martial artists left. 1 was a half-step Yin-Yang stage, 2 were early-stage Yin-Yang stage, and 2 were mid-stage Yin-Yang stage. Seeing this, Ningyu was slightly stunned and asked doubtfully, "The other dozen martial artists?" There were more than a dozen martial artists in the secret chamber just now. Why were there only 5 now? It has nothing to do with me. The Dark Emperor shook his head and tried his best to disassociate himself. After you left, not only did they not swear the heavenly Tao oath, they even attacked us. At this point, the Dark Emperor seemed to be filled with righteous indignation. In order to protect myself, I had to personally attack and kill more than a dozen martial artists. The Dark Emperor said angrily, "These people just don't know what's good for them." After beating them up and killing a few martial artists, they became obedient and naturally swore the heavenly Tao oath. F***CK. Ningyu cursed in his heart. The Dark Emperor was indeed troublesome. No matter what, the Zhang family was a first-rate faction in the capital, and their business covered the entire Great Xia Kingdom. If too much of the upper echelon's fighting strength was lost, they might not be able to care about the surrounding businesses and not be able to control the forces below. In such a situation, the family could easily fall apart. "Forget it. I won't lower myself to your level." Ningyu thought for a moment and said, "Get that middle stage Yin-Yang realm martial artist to bring all of the Zhang family's essence crystals over. I want to use them." If I knew you would ask that, I would have already asked for all the essence crystals. The Dark Emperor chuckled and threw a storage bag to Ningyu. "Pa!" Ningyu took the storage bag, slightly released his soul force, and began to explore. "Are you King? Sure you're not kidding me." Looking at the number of essence crystals in the storage bag, Ningyu could not help but curse. The Zhang family only has 100,000 transcendent grade essence crystals. Sai, you don't know. The Dark Emperor waved his hand and said, the Zhang family originally had a few million transcendent grade essence crystals, but not long ago they were all taken away by the experts of the Corpse sect and brought to the Coiling Dragon Ridge. Coiling Dragon Ridge? Ningyu temporarily ignored the matter of the essence crystals and asked doubtfully. That's right, there are 3 powerful forces in the Coiling Dragon Ridge: Danwu College, Corpse sect, and the Imperial family. The Dark Emperor explained they are fighting in the Coiling Dragon Ridge, and it seems like the outcome will not be decided in a short period of time. You win. Ningyu noticed the smile on the Dark Emperor's face and instantly understood. The Dark Emperor must be eating alone. With Ningyu's understanding of the Dark Emperor, if the Dark Emperor was willing to leave him 100,000 transcendent grade essence crystals, he must have at least 500,000 on him. Let's go to Sikongling's place and prepare for the alchemy competition. Ningyu did not want to be entangled with the Dark Emperor. After saying that, he immediately leaped up and disappeared in the blink of an eye. As for the Dark Emperor, Leng Mian, and the rest, they followed closely behind Ningyu and disappeared together. In the west of the Great Xia Kingdom, there was an extremely large group of palaces. At the center of the palaces was a huge square. This square belonged to the Alchemy Union. It could be said that all the major events of the Alchemy Union would be held here. Today was the day of the alchemy competition. Ever since the Alchemy Union announced that they would be holding the alchemy competition, the martial artists in the capital had been paying close attention to it. After dragging it for so long, today's alchemy competition was finally held as scheduled. The square, surrounded by many luxurious palaces, was already occupied by a dense crowd. Although there were many people, there was not the slightest noise. Instead, it was abnormally quiet. However, the aura emitted from everyone was soaring into the sky. It was a spectacular sight. In the center of the square, there were 10 huge, round platforms. On each platform, there were dozens of stone tables. On the stone tables, there was a small cauldron and a storage bag. Behind the 10 round platforms, there was a huge square platform with several figures sitting on it. Hee, Brother Dan, it's our Alchemy Union's honor to have you as the chief examiner for this alchemy competition. Chapter 641. Another bet. President Peng's attainments in the alchemy Dao are even deeper than mine. Me being the chief examiner is just like showing off in front of an expert. Dan Chenzi said, the alchemy competition aims to select the alchemy Dao geniuses of the Great Xia Kingdom. After this competition, there will definitely be many geniuses joining the Alchemy Union. By then, President Peng's position in the Alchemy Union will definitely rise by another level. Brother Dan, you must be joking. Peng Zhou didn't seem to want to talk about this anymore. He immediately changed the topic and asked, Brother Dan, who do you think will be the top 3 in this competition? Old fox. Dan Chenzi sneered in his heart, but on the surface he said, I can't say for sure, but as far as I know, Danwu College has sent out 3 false saints. Their target is the top 3 in the competition. False saints. Hearing this, Peng Zhou's heart shuddered. He was slightly worried. Danwu College's false saints were all geniuses among geniuses. There were rumors that those who relied on the alchemy Dao to become false saints had at least a 5th grade soul force. One could imagine that once Danwu College sent out 3 false saints to participate in the alchemy competition, 1 or 2 of the top 3 would definitely be taken by false saints. President Peng, don't think too much. There are many tests in the alchemy competition. Even Danwu College's false saints might not be able to get the top 3. Perhaps Dan Chenzi saw through Peng Zhou's worry, so he waved his hand and said, there is still half an hour before the competition starts. It seems like there is still a genius alchemist in the Alchemy Union who hasn't arrived yet. I have sent someone to look for him. Situwen will be here soon. Peng Zhou was also very angry when Situwen was mentioned. At this critical moment, he still hasn't arrived. Could it be that he doesn't want to participate in the alchemy competition? Peng Zhou made up his mind. When Situwen arrived, he would definitely teach him a lesson. If Peng Zhou knew that Situwen had died in the battle, what would he think? Swish! At the same time, in the middle of the plaza, Ningyu stood in the middle with Si Kongling, Zhou Tong, and Lu Wei by his side. Ningyu, I heard that the main examiner for this alchemy competition is the Xia Empire's Dan Qinzi. After swallowing a transcendent grade Yuan transformation pill, after a night of absorption and refining, Si Kongling's cultivation had already reached the middle stage of the Yuan Dan stage. Dan Qinzi is the chief examiner? Ning Yu was slightly startled. He faintly felt that something was wrong. Since entering Danwu College, Dan Qinzi's last disciple, Yi Tian, had already lost to Ning Yu twice. Moreover, each defeat was more miserable than the last. Given Dan Qinzi's character, he probably wouldn't let the matter rest. Actually, it wasn't that Ningyu was gauging the heart of a gentleman with his own mean measure, but Ningyu had already understood Dan Qinzi's character from Dan Qinzi. He was extremely cunning. One had to be extremely careful when dealing with such a person. Otherwise, it was inevitable that one would suffer a loss. That's right. Dan Qinzi is the main examiner. He has full authority over the alchemy competition, Zhou Tong added. We'll deal with it when it comes. Ning Yu took a deep breath, then shifted his gaze towards Lu Wei. You can give it a try in this alchemy competition. Me. Lu Wei pointed at her own nose and shook her head. I'm only a third-grade alchemist. Even if I participate in the alchemy competition, I'm afraid I won't even be able to pass the first round. Moreover, even if I want to participate in the alchemy competition, it's impossible because I didn't even register. You don't have to worry about this. I've already asked Ren Xiangtian to arrange the registration for you. You just need to obediently participate in the assessment. Ningyu smiled at Lu Wei and said, Who says that third-grade alchemists can't pass the first round? In my opinion, it's not impossible for you to enter the finals. The top 3 in the alchemy competition would definitely be rewarded handsomely. Lu Wei was only an early-stage, third-grade alchemist. If she could place first in the alchemy competition, she could easily break through to a fourth-grade alchemist. Haha, a third-grade alchemist wants to enter the finals? Why don't you look at yourself in the mirror? A toad lusting after swan meat. Just then, an ear-piercing voice entered Ningyu's ears, causing his face to darken. Not far away, 2 silhouettes pushed through the crowd and slowly appeared before Ningyu. If a third-grade alchemist can enter the finals, I'll twist my head off and let you use it as a chamber pot. One of the cultivators' lips curled up and said, I'll let you in on a secret. The lowest requirement to enter the finals is to brew a 5th-grade Dan. Ha whoosh. This cultivator's words caused a commotion in the crowd. Only by brewing a 5th-grade Dan can one enter the finals. It seems like I'm done for this time. Only 12 cultivators will enter the finals. Let's not even think about it. The top 100 will be rewarded handsomely. Top 100? With so many alchemy geniuses gathered here, I'll be lucky to be able to enter the top 200. The surrounding cultivators' words did not attract Ningyu's attention. His gaze fell on a familiar figure in front of him. I was wondering who it was. So it's my loser, Zhao Kuo, the great prodigy Zhao. Looking at the familiar figure in front of him, Ningyu laughed. "'Tis the great prodigy. Zhao is my lucky star. Every time you appear, I win a lot of origin crystals." Hearing Ningyu's sarcastic words, Zhao Kuo gritted his teeth in anger. He had indeed lost hundreds of thousands of supreme origin crystals to Ningyu. He had almost become a money grubber. If there weren't so many people watching, Zhao Kuo would have lost his temper. Zhao Kuo took a deep breath and tried to calm himself down. He said in a low voice, "Ningyu, I'm here to discuss something with you." Not interested. Ningyu ignored Zhao Kuo and dragged Lu Wei away. This was Zhao Kuo's home ground, and experts from Dongwu College had not arrived yet. It was unwise to start a conflict with Zhao Kuo now. Ningyu, if you're scared, you can say it out loud. I won't make things difficult for you. Seeing that Ningyu was about to leave, Zhao Kuo quickly said, You said that Lu Wei can enter the finals. I'll make a bet with you. I bet she won't even make it through the first round. The bet is 300,000 Supreme Origin Crystals. Fearing that Ningyu would not agree, Zhao Kuo added, If I lose, I'll give you 300,000 Supreme Origin Crystals. If I win, you don't have to give me any Supreme Origin Crystals. All you have to do is kneel down and kowtow to me in front of all these people and apologize. Ningyu stopped in his tracks at Zhao Kuo's words. What do you say? Think about it, Zhao Kuo said proudly with a smile. This time, Ningyu did not look at Zhao Kuo. Instead, his eyes fell on a blue-clothed martial artist beside Zhao Kuo. The blue-clothed martial artist was about 23 or 24 years old, and he exuded a vigorous aura. In terms of martial strength, he was even stronger than Zhao Kuo. Chapter 642. Unwinnable. Peak rank 5. It was even possible that he had reached rank 6. It was even possible that he had reached rank 6. However, the blue-clothed martial artist was good at hiding his aura. Normal martial artists would not be able to detect the strength of his early-stage rank 6 soul force. Zhao Kuo's soul force was only at peak rank 5. Why was the blue-clothed martial artist's soul force infinitely close to rank 6? Was he not from the Alchemy Union? Ningyu had already learned from Ren Xiangtian that the Alchemy Union did not have any geniuses whose soul force had reached rank 6. In other words, the blue-clothed martial artist next to Zhao Kuo was most likely not from the Union. I've got it. Noticing the change in Ningyu's expression, Zhao Kuo rolled his eyes and said, Ningyu, I know this, but is not in your favor. How about this? Let's change the bet. How? Ningyu asked. It's simple. The martial artist next to me is called Shiryang. If Lu Wei can defeat him in alchemy, I'll lose 300,000 supreme-grade origin crystals to you. Zhao Kuo did not even blink when he lied. Shiryang is also a rank 3 alchemist. He's on par with Lu Wei. No one is taking advantage of the other. Hearing Zhao Kuo's serious words, Ningyu could not help but burst out laughing. He was too good at pretending. Shiryang was a rank 6 alchemist, but Zhao Kuo said he was a rank 3 alchemist. Ningyu, you've won big this time. Zhao Kuo did not know why Ningyu was laughing. He thought Ningyu thought he had won big. He said, If Lu Wei defeats Shiryang, I'll give you 300,000 supreme-grade origin crystals. If Lu Wei loses to Shiryang, you only have to kneel down and apologize. TSK. Your kneel is worth 300,000 supreme-grade origin crystals. Even I'm a little envious. Are you envious? Ningyu said calmly. Zhao Kuo nodded and said, Of course I'm envious. A kneel is worth 300,000. Since you are envious, kneel before me in front of so many people. I will give you 300,000 transcendent-grade origin crystals. Ningyu interrupted Zhao Kuo and said coolly, Whoosh! Although Ningyu's voice was not loud, it contained a faint fluctuation of yuan qi, allowing the surrounding warriors to hear it clearly. At that moment, everyone turned to look at Zhao Kuo, wanting to see if he would agree or not. Damn it! Being stared at by so many people, Zhao Kuo's face turned green with anger, making him kneel down to Ningyu in front of so many people. Even if he was given 1,000,000 transcendent great essence crystals, he would not do it either. To put it simply, he couldn't afford to lose face. It's just a joke. Isn't it just a bet on alchemy? It's no big deal. How could Ningyu not know what Zhao Kuo was thinking? Besides, even if Zhao Kuo knelt before him, he would not give him 300,000 supreme great essence crystals. It was not worth it at all. In Ning Yu's opinion, Zhao Kuo's Neil was worth one low-grade essence crystal at most. So you agree? Zhao Kuo's face lit up, and he hurriedly said, "A gentleman keeps his word. You can't go back on your word." "I'm not you. Why would I go back on my word?" Ningyu shrugged and said indifferently, "You're just a glib talker," Zhao Kuo said viciously. "I'll make you cry later." "Zhao Kuo, I don't really trust your character. How about this? As long as you can take out 300,000 transcendent grade essence crystals, I'll bet with you," Ningyu said calmly. 300,000 transcendent grade essence crystals was not a small number. Ning, you did not believe Zhao Kuo could take it out in one go. If he put it on credit, it would not be worth it. Hee, since I'm here to compete in alchemy, I'll pay the 300,000 transcendent grade essence crystals. At this moment, Shi Yang smiled and took out a storage bag from his robe. He tossed it to Ningyu and said, "There are 300,000 transcendent grade essence crystals in there. You can check them." "There's no need to check. There are exactly 300,000 transcendent grade essence crystals in there." Ningyu flicked his sleeve, and a cold light shot out. The cold light hit the storage bag, and it instantly turned around and returned to Shi Yang's side. Ningyu is really generous. He chose to trust Shi Yang without checking. That's 300,000 transcendent grade essence crystals. What if Lu Wei defeats Shi Yang and finds that there are not so many? Wouldn't it be a big loss? Ningyu is indeed a man of integrity. The discussions from the surrounding martial artists infuriated Zhao Kuo. Didn't Ningyu just not check the storage bag? Did they have to praise him like this? It'd be weird if he didn't check. If the crowd knew that the cold light shot out by Ningyu contained a strand of soul power, what would they think? One should know that with that strand of soul power, Ningyu knew exactly how many transcendent grade essence crystals were in the storage bag. Since we're all third-grade alchemists, let's make a third-grade elixir, the wind speed elixir. Shi Yang did not take the storage bag either. Instead, he tossed it aside and took out another storage bag from his robe. He said, "The wind speed elixir is a third-grade elixir. It's not too difficult to make. Whoever can make the highest quality wind speed elixir within the allotted time will be the winner." "I have no objections." Ningyu shrugged, indicating that he didn't care. Ningyu. While Ningyu didn't mind, Lu Wei's expression darkened. She was only an early-stage, third-grade alchemist, and had never made a wind speed elixir before. How could she possibly make it in front of so many people? "Don't worry, it's just a wind speed elixir. With me here, not only can you make it, you might even be able to make a transcendent grade wind speed elixir." Ningyu walked up to Lu Wei, patted her shoulder, and said, "Don't feel pressured. Just do it like you usually do." "Humph. If she can make a transcendent grade wind speed elixir, I'll kneel and kowtow to you." Zhao Kuo snorted. Zhao Kuo knew very well that Lu Wei was only an early-stage, third-grade alchemist, and it was still unknown whether she could make a wind speed elixir. How could Ningyu say that she could make a transcendent grade wind speed elixir? What a fool's dream. "Zhao Kuo, everyone heard you. You're the one who said it." "I didn't force you," Ningyu said in a clear voice. "What's wrong with what I said? A gentleman keeps his word." Zhao Kuo said coldly, "As long as Lu Wei can make a transcendent grade wind speed elixir, I'll kneel and apologize." "Ningyu, Lu Wei is only a third-grade alchemist." Xikong Ling and Zhou Tong said hesitantly with anxious expressions, "Don't worry, it's just a transcendent grade wind speed elixir. Lu Wei can easily make it." Ningyu waved his hand, indicating that Xikong Ling and Zhou Tong need not worry. The reason why Ningyu was so confident was because when he patted Lu Wei's shoulder, he had secretly slipped the storage ring on his finger into Lu Wei's pocket. Inside the storage ring was Sun Jiangwen, a peak 7th-grade alchemist. With Sun Jiangwen's alchemy skills, making a transcendent grade wind speed elixir would be a piece of cake. Chapter 643. Chapter 643. Supreme Grade Medicinal Pills. Ningyu, aren't you afraid of biting your tongue with your big words? Zhao Kuo said coldly. There's less than half an hour before the competition starts. In my opinion, you should let Lu Wei and Shi Yang compete in alchemy. Don't waste our time. Since you're in such a hurry to lose the supreme grade yuan crystals to me, I have no objections. Ningyu answered and reached into his robe to take out his alchemy furnace. But soon, Ningyu stopped and said to Lu Wei, You have an alchemy furnace with you, right? Yes, I have an alchemy furnace. Lu Wei nodded and took out a square alchemy furnace. Ha ha ha. Zhao Kuo couldn't help but laugh when he saw the alchemy furnace. You call this an alchemy furnace? Cabbage, it's not even worth 100,000 low-grade yuan crystals. Zhao Kuo pointed at the medicinal pill in Lu Wei's hand and smiled. Although the wind-walking pill is only a third-grade medicinal pill, it should be very difficult to concoct with this kind of alchemy furnace. Whether I can concoct it or not is none of your concern. Ning, you couldn't be bothered with Zhao Kuo. Let him jump now, I'll make him cry later. Shi Yang, can we start? Ningyu looked at Shi Yang and said, In 5 minutes, whoever concocts the highest quality wind-walking pill will be the winner. We can start any time. Shi Yang's eyes turned cold, and he took out a white alchemy furnace. Although the alchemy furnace was only the size of a palm, as Shi Yang poured his soul power into it, the alchemy furnace grew bigger and bigger. In the end, it was a few times bigger. This is ridiculous. The corner of Ning Yu's mouth twitched. Shi Yang's alchemy furnace wasn't particularly good. It wasn't even in the Earth ranking. But compared to Lu Wei's alchemy furnace, it was much better. Swoosh! After taking out the alchemy furnace, Shi Yang didn't hesitate at all. He took out a medicinal ingredient and threw it into the alchemy furnace, then started concocting with all his might. As for Lu Wei, she looked at Ningyu and did not make a move. It wasn't that Lu Wei didn't want to refine the wind speed pill, but that she didn't know how to. She was afraid that when she placed the medicinal ingredients into the pill furnace, the pill would explode. Whoosh! However, just as Lu Wei was at a loss for what to do, her palm suddenly moved on its own. Following that, under her horrified gaze, Lu Wei's palm continuously grabbed the medicinal ingredients and threw them into the pill furnace. The sudden change caused Lu Wei's mouth to gape slightly, her face filled with disbelief. Her palm was not under her control. Not many people would believe it if she said it. Lu Wei, don't worry. Relax your mind. Someone will naturally refine the pill for you. Seeing Lu Wei's surprised expression, Ningyu transmitted his voice to her. Make it look real. Don't give yourself away. All right. At first, Lu Wei thought that she had seen a ghost, but now that she heard Ningyu's words, she felt relieved. It turned out that it was all Ningyu's doing. Look, Lu Wei's refining speed seems to be much faster than Shi Yang's. Could it be that Lu Wei will win in the end? That's hard to say. After all, both of them are third-grade pill refiners. Who is stronger and who is weaker will have to wait until the end to be determined. Ignorant. Shi Yang is not an ordinary third-grade pill refiner. Hearing the surrounding martial artist discussion, the president of Neptune City's Alchemy Union said coldly, If I'm not mistaken, the strength of Shi Yang's soul force is no weaker than mine. Whoosh! As soon as the president of Neptune City's Alchemy Union finished his words, the surrounding martial artists were dumbfounded. Stronger than the president of Neptune City's Alchemy Union? Didn't that mean that the strength of Shi Yang's soul force had reached the 5th grade? After all, the president of Neptune City's Alchemy Union was a 5th grade mid-stage pill refiner. To be more specific, Shi Yang is most likely a 5th grade advanced stage pill refiner. Hai Tian said gloomily. Lu Wei can defeat Shi Yang? That's just wishful thinking. Hai Tian's words were the straw that broke the camel's back. In an instant, the crowd switched from supporting Lu Wei to supporting Shi Yang. Zhao Kuo was very satisfied with the crowd's sudden change in attitude. He secretly gave Hai Tian a thumbs up with his right hand. The reason why Zhao Kuo chose to expose Shi Yang's soul force strength was to create a psychological pressure on Lu Wei, so that Lu Wei's core would explode. Zhao Kuo was a little worried because of the level of pill refinement that Lu Wei had shown just now. Sigh, some people are used to lying, and it's very difficult to change. As someone who had lived 2 lives, how could Ningyu not know what Zhao Kuo was thinking? But he did not point it out. Instead, he sighed and said, not long ago it was said that Shi Yang and Lu Wei were both 3rd-grade pill refiners. It's only been a short time, and Shi Yang has already exposed the fact that he's a 5th-grade pill refiner. Ningyu, what do you mean? Zhao Kuo said gloomily. Although Shi Yang is a 5th-grade pill refiner, when he competed with Lu Wei in pill refinement, he suppressed his alchemy level to that of a 3rd-grade pill refiner. So, Lu Wei is not at a disadvantage. I don't care about that. All I care about is whether you'll give me the 300,000 supreme-grade yuan crystals, and whether you'll kneel down and kowtow to me. Ningyu said indifferently. Humph. I, Zhao Kuo, am a man of my word. Zhao Kuo snorted coldly and said, in order to dispel your concerns, I dare to swear a heavenly oath. Then Zhao Kuo swore a heavenly oath in front of everyone. Sigh, why bother? It's just a heavenly oath. There's no need for you to do this. Ningyu sighed, then changed the topic. But since you've sworn a heavenly oath, I'm not worried. You can now speed up the pill refinement process for Lu Wei. What? Zhao Kuo frowned as if he did not understand what Ningyu meant. Splash! In the next moment, Lu Wei flipped her wrist and threw all the pills needed to refine the wind speed pill into the cauldron. Then, Lu Wei placed her hands on the cauldron and closed her eyes, chanting some incantation. If chanting incantations can refine the wind speed pill, then what's the use of alchemists? Shi Yang pursed his lips and said disdainfully, that's right. For minutes have passed, and Shi Yang is about to finish refining the pill. I don't believe that Lu Wei can. What? Zhao Kuo echoed. He was about to mock Ningyu, but before he could finish his words, his eyes widened and a dumbfounded look appeared on his face. Kacha! Lu Wei's palm slammed heavily on the cauldron. The low-quality cauldron was instantly shattered by Lu Wei's slap. Swoosh! Following that, a pill emitting a faint white halo shot out. Seeing the pill flying out, Ningyu's reflexes were quick. He stomped on the ground and dashed forward, catching the pill firmly in his hand. With the pill in hand, Ningyu unhurriedly came to Zhao Kuo's side and slowly opened his palm. Gulp! Looking at the silver-white pill in Ningyu's hand, Zhao Kuo could not help but swallow a mouthful of saliva. Even his voice was trembling. Chapter 644. Kowtowing and admitting his mistake. Chapter 644. Apologizing. Zhao Kuo's face was full of bitterness. If someone had told him that Lu Wei could defeat Shi Yang in alchemy, he would have slapped that person and told him to get lost. Shi Yang was a 6th realm alchemist, while Lu Wei was only a 3rd realm alchemist. They were not on the same level at all. However, the result was such a mess. Lu Wei won, and Shi Yang lost completely. Lu Wei could actually refine a supreme grade wind speed pill. This is unbelievable. She managed to refine a supreme grade wind speed pill in just 4 minutes. That's right. Even an ordinary 6th realm alchemist might not be able to do that. Zhao Kuo was already furious. When he heard the discussions of the martial artists around him, he was on the verge of exploding. However, the truth was right in front of him. With so many people watching, he could not lose his temper and could only endure it. Compared to Zhao Kuo's reaction, Shi Yang was much more shocked and confused. Damn it! Shi Yang was very regretful, extremely regretful. With his alchemy skills, he could have easily refined a supreme grade wind speed pill in 4 minutes. However, when he saw that Lu Wei still had some time to complete the pill, he slowed down a little. It was this momentary slowing down that made Shi Yang feel as if he had eaten **T. He lost. He was completely defeated by a third-realm alchemist. After all, this was his first duel since leaving Danwu College. Yet he was defeated so thoroughly and cleanly. Can I take back the 300,000 transcendent grade origin crystals that belong to me now? Ning Yu's voice rang out in the area. Shi Yang was silent. As the fake holy son of Danwu College, he would not go back on his word for 300,000 supreme grade raw crystals. Moreover, Zhao Kuo was the one in charge of the duel with Lu Wei. Even if he lost 300,000 supreme grade raw crystals, he believed that Zhao Kuo would return it to him. Shi Yang was silent, but Zhao Kuo's face was full of unwillingness. That was 300,000 transcendent grade essence crystals. If it was taken away by Ningyu, he would really become a pauper. From start to finish, he had lost a total of several 100,000 transcendent grade essence crystals to Ningyu. In the future, he would not be able to run away from the title of fortune-giving boy. Thank you. Seeing that Shi Yang and Zhao Kuo did not react, Ningyu smiled faintly. His figure flashed, and the storage pouch appeared in his hand. Holding the storage pouch in his hand, Ningyu came to stand beside Lu Wei and said, "You won these crystals, so you should be the one to keep them." With that, Ningyu stuffed the storage bag into Lu Wei's pocket. When he withdrew his hand, Ningyu secretly held the storage ring in his hand and took it out. "Ningyu, these are the essence." Furball. Lu Wei hurriedly took out the storage pouch and handed it to Ningyu. Just as Lu Wei took out the storage pouch, Furball darted out from her bosom and snatched it away. Woof woof! Furball shook the storage pouch in its paw and barked at Ningyu in a provocative manner before burrowing back into Lu Wei's bosom. I forgot about that. Ningyu smiled bitterly. He had indeed forgotten about Furball. 300,000 transcendent grade essence crystals would probably make Furball happy for a long time. Ningyu, you better hope that I don't run into you during the alchemy competition. Just then, Zhao Kuo's gloomy voice rang out in the area. Otherwise, I will make you lose miserably. Hee hee. I would have forgotten about it if you hadn't reminded me. Hearing Zhao Kuo's words, Ningyu was stunned for a moment before he smiled and said, I remember that before Lu Wei and Shi Yang competed in alchemy, you swore an oath to the heavenly Tao that as long as Lu Wei could refine a transcendent grade windwalk pill, you would kowtow to me and admit your mistake. What? Are you going back on your word now? Ningyu, don't go too far. Zhao Kuo's face was livid and extremely gloomy. Asking him to kowtow to him and admit his mistake was something he could not do. He could not afford to lose face like this. I don't care. The important thing is that you swore an oath to the heavenly Tao. If you go back on your word, you will be punished later, and that has nothing to do with me. Ningyu shrugged, then grabbed Lu Wei's hand and prepared to leave. Humph. I swore an oath to the heavenly Tao that I would kowtow to you and admit my mistake. But don't forget, I didn't say when. Zhao Kuo snorted coldly and said, In other words, there's no difference between kneeling and kowtowing to you and admitting my mistake 100 years later and now. There is a big difference. If you don't believe in heresy, you can leave and see if you will be punished. The corner of Ningyu's lips curled up slightly, and he said calmly, If you violate an oath to the heavenly Tao, you'll have to face the heavenly tribulation. I don't believe in heresy. Let's wait and see. Zhao Kuo glared at Ningyu, then turned around and walked toward the nearest round platform. Are you going to let Zhao Kuo leave just like that? Seeing that Zhao Kuo had left, the Dark Emperor's voice rang in Ningyu's mind. Do you want me to teach him a lesson? Don't alert him. There are a few elites on the platform, and their cultivation is at least Yin-Yang pinnacle. If you attack, you might attract their attention, Ningyu said in a deep voice. It's fine. I might alert them if I attack on my own. But if I work together with the red skin, even Yin-Yang pinnacle martial artists won't be able to notice anything. The Dark Emperor said confidently, Be careful. Don't act recklessly. Since the Dark Emperor was so confident, Ningyu decided to let him give it a try. To be honest, Ningyu was confused that the heavenly tribulation did not happen to Zhaoque. The reason why the oath to the heavenly Tao was so frightening was because it was extremely sensitive. Anyone who violated it would be punished by the heavenly tribulation. Could it be that the person who sent the heavenly tribulation was resting? Rumble. However, before the Dark Emperor and the Red Devil could attack, the sky was filled with dark clouds, and it felt like thunder was about to strike. The oath to the heavenly Tao is going to be fulfilled. Everyone retreat. We can't stay with Zhaoque. That's right. If the heavenly tribulation hits us, it won't be worth it. Let's leave now. We can't stay here any longer. The sudden turn of events caused everyone in the plaza to turn pale. They could not help but run out of the plaza. On the platform, Dan Qinzi and Peng Zhou rose to their feet with grim expressions. Brother Dan, could it be that Zhaoque's oath to the heavens has been fulfilled? Peng Zhou's face was filled with anxiety as he asked, Is there any way to remedy this? It's hard to tell if the oath is going to be fulfilled, but I've never seen anything like this before, Dan Qinzi said in a deep voice. That brat Zhaoque only knows how to cause trouble for me. Peng Zhou clenched his teeth and transmitted his voice to Zhaoque. Hurry up and kneel down and apologize to Ningyu. Do you want to be struck by the heavenly tribulation? Zhaoque's legs had already turned to jelly. Legend had it that a pinnacle Yin-Yang pinnacle martial artist in the Great Xia Kingdom had violated the oath to the heavenly Tao and was struck by a heavenly tribulation. Even pinnacle Yin-Yang pinnacle martial artists could not withstand the heavenly tribulation, let alone Zhaoque. Plop. Chapter 645. The 13th Prince. Chapter 645. The 13th Prince Whoosh. Zhaoque's kneeling caused the dark clouds to disperse and the sky to clear up. From the moment the dark clouds appeared to the moment they disappeared. Zhaoque's kneeling was the only thing that separated the two. After this incident, the entire capital would probably believe in the heavenly oath, and no one would make one so carelessly in the future. Ningyu, just you wait and see. Zhaoque crawled up from the ground and uttered those words in a cold voice. Then he turned around and left without looking back. Shi Yang had wanted to say something, but seeing how furious Zhaoque was, he had no choice but to leave with him. The heavenly oath! Ningyu murmured as he watched Zhaoque's back. In his previous life, Ningyu was a sky supreme, so he had naturally experienced the baptism of heavenly tribulations. The changes in the sky just now were very similar to the omens of his heavenly tribulations. Ningyu, just as Ningyu was deep in thought, a familiar voice reached his ears. Ning, you didn't need to think to know who it was. Li Tongtian. After a while, Li Tongtian came to stand beside Ningyu. Fengzi might be in danger. Li Tongtian's first words made Ning Yu's face darken. Ningyu tried to calm himself down and asked, What danger did Fengzi run into? Tell me. Late last night, Fengzi went to Danwu College to look for me. Unfortunately, I was in seclusion at the time, so he didn't find me. Li Tongtian said in a low voice, When I came out this morning, I received a letter from Fengzi from the guards. Swish! As he spoke, Li Tongtian tossed the letter to Ningyu. Rip! Ningyu tore open the letter and skimmed through its contents. That one glance made Ningyu's heart sink to the bottom. When they left Sikongling's place, Fengzi and Li Tongtian each had their own matters to attend to and chose to leave temporarily. In order to ensure Fengzi's safety, Ningyu even sent the evil eye to follow him. Along the way, evil, I helped Feng Zi get rid of quite a few people tailing him. Only when Feng Zi left the capital did evil I leave. At first, Ningyu did not know why Feng Zi wanted to leave the capital, but when he read the contents of the letter, he completely understood. Feng Zi went out of the capital to find someone to duel with. That's not right. Feng Zixin said that the person he went to find was at the early primal core stage. In terms of strength, he should not be a match for him. Ningyu frowned. Before Ningyu could finish his sentence, a faint chuckle rang out from afar. Ha ha ha, in terms of strength alone, Feng Chang is naturally not a match for Feng Zi. However, with me added in, even 10 Feng Zi would die with a grudge. Then a young man holding a folding fan pushed through the crowd and slowly appeared in front of Ningyu. Ningyu did not know who the young man was, but he was extremely familiar with the person behind the young man. Feng Zi. The person being carried by the crowd behind the young man was Feng Zi. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ouyangling. The young man's lips curled into a smile. You can also call me the 13th Prince. Swoosh! Ouyang-Ling's words immediately caused the originally quiet area to become lively again. Everyone might not be too familiar with Ouyang-Ling. However, when it came to the 13th Prince, everyone was very familiar with him. In the Great Xia Kingdom, there were a few more famous princes. The first prince, third prince, 6th prince, 9th prince, and 13th prince. Among them, the first 3 princes were the most likely contenders for the position of crown prince. The 9th prince and the 13th prince were much more low-key. Although they were low-key, the 13th prince and the 9th prince were the absolute talents of the royal family in everyone's hearts. Back then, when the 13th prince left the capital, he swore that he would not return until his cultivation reached the Yin-Yang realm. Now that the 13th prince had returned, it meant that his cultivation had most likely reached the Yin-Yang realm. 13th prince, why do you want to capture Feng Zi? How did he offend you? Ningyu did not care about the 13th prince or the 14th prince. In his heart, saving Feng Zi was always the top priority. To be precise, he offended Feng Chang, and Feng Chang is my man. Ouyang-Ling pointed at Feng Zi and said indifferently, in the Great Xia Kingdom, he dared to go against my man. I have to say that he is very arrogant. Tui, Feng Chang, that bastard. Even if I kill him 100 times, it won't be too much. Feng Zi was immediately infuriated when Feng Chang was mentioned. Feng Chang? Could it be? Ningyu's heart trembled as he hurriedly looked at Feng Zi. From Feng Zi's expression, Ningyu vaguely understood. Feng Zi was originally a member of the Feng clan of the Lanqing nation. The reason why he left the Feng clan was completely out of helplessness. Feng Chang was most likely also a member of the Feng clan, and he definitely had an inseparable connection with Feng Zi being expelled from the Feng clan. Haha, you still dare to be so stubborn when you're about to die. Ouyang-Ling smiled and said, Feng Chang, this is a matter between the two of you. You guys settle it yourselves. Thank you, 13th Prince. Feng Chang revealed a joyful expression. When he was in the Feng clan, he had a grudge with Feng Zi, and even schemed to kill a few of Feng Zi's good brothers. Now that Feng Zi had fallen into his hands, he would definitely not have a good ending. Wait. However, just as Feng Chang was about to make a move, Ouyang-Ling's eyes turned and he said, Ningyu, I see that you have a good relationship with Feng Zi. Why don't I give you a chance to redeem Feng Zi? 13th Prince. Hearing Ouyang-Ling's words, Feng Chang hurriedly said, Scram. Ouyang-Ling's tone turned cold as he berated, Who do you think you are? How dare you speak to me in such a tone? At this moment, Ouyang-Ling unleashed the aura of his entire body and crazily suppressed Feng Chang. At the same time, Ouyang-Ling also split off a wisp of aura to attack Xikong-Ling's swoosh. Feeling the powerful aura emanating from Ouyang-Ling's body, the surrounding martial artist's expressions changed drastically. early Enyang realm, and it was the peak of early Enyang realm. Ouyang Ling's cultivation had actually reached the peak of early Enyang realm. Uft! Being suppressed by Ouyang Ling's aura, Feng Chang suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood and his aura was somewhat weak. What's going on? Feng Chang spitting out blood was within Ouyang Ling's expectations, but Feng Zi standing on the spot unscathed was somewhat out of Ouyang Ling's expectations. It doesn't make sense that an early primal core martial artist can also withstand the pressure of my aura. Ouyang Ling's brows were tightly knitted together. What kind of redemption? Just as Ouyang Ling was feeling puzzled, Ning Yu's voice entered his ears. Very simple. Just now, Shi Yang lost you 300,000 supreme Great Essence crystals. You give me 300,000 supreme Great Essence crystals, and I let Fengzi go. Since he could not understand, Ouyang Ling simply did not think about it for the time being. Instead, he said, 300,000 supreme Great Essence crystals for a person's life. You've made a great deal. Swoosh. Chapter 646. Asking for 600, 000. Chapter 646. Asking for 600, 000 inch woof woof. Furball seemed to understand the severity of the problem. Without waiting for Lu Wei to speak, he immediately crawled out of Lu Wei's embrace. After barking twice, Furball threw the storage bag to Ningyu. Swoosh! Ningyu flicked his sleeve and a cold light shot out, hitting the storage bag. The bag changed its trajectory and flew towards Ouyang Ling Pa. Ouyang Ling caught the storage bag steadily. He separated a bit of his perception to check it and then nodded in satisfaction. You can release Fengzi now, right? Ningyu said in a low voice when he saw Ouyang Ling keep the storage bag. Don't worry. Since I promised to release Fengzi, I will not go back on my word. Ouyang Ling shook the storage bag in his hand and smiled. If I'm not wrong, this storage bag belongs to Shi Yang. Shi Yang. Before Ning Yu could speak, Li Tongtian's expression changed. You know Shi Yang? Ning Yu frowned. Yes. Li Tongtian nodded. Shi Yang has the same status as me. The same status as you? Ning Yu raised his eyebrows. Li Tongtian was a fake holy son. It seemed that Shi Yang was also a fake holy son. Rustle. Suddenly, a figure pushed through the crowd and slowly appeared in the area. Seeing the figure's face, Ning Yu's mouth opened and closed. He was a little confused. It was not that he had never seen this martial artist before, but he knew him. It was Shi Yang who had just left. Why did Shi Yang come here now? Could it be that Shi Yang and Ouyang Ling were on good terms? Swoosh! Sure enough, seeing Shi Yang coming over, Ouyang Ling flicked his wrist and directly threw the storage bag to Shi Yang. Thanks. Shi Yang accepted the storage bag and said calmly, You don't have to thank me. Just don't forget what you promised me. Ouyang Ling shrugged. Shi Yang, will definitely do what I promised. After saying this, Shi Yang left the area without looking back. Ouyang Ling let Fengzi go. Although Ningyu had some doubts about Shi Yang's actions, the most important thing now was to save Fengzi. Everything else could be put aside. I will definitely let Fengzi go, but not now. Ouyang Ling smiled and said, After the alchemy competition ends, I will naturally release Fengzi. Feng Chang, look after Fengzi. Without my permission, no one is allowed to approach him. Ouyang Ling turned around and said, Whoosh! Ning Yu's face darkened completely when he heard what Ouyang Ling said. I didn't want to make a move here. Ning Yu took a deep breath and said coldly, Since you want to die, don't blame me. Courting death? What right do you have to talk to me like that? Ouyang Ling raised his brows and said sinisterly, I don't need to use my full strength to deal with you. If you know what's good for you, hurry up and scram before I change my mind. Lu Wei is the person that Royal Father wants to see. Let her stay by your side for a while longer. After the alchemy competition ends, I will take her away as well. Yangling glanced at Lu Wei, and an evil smile appeared on his face. This smile was as annoying as it could get. There is a path to heaven, but you don't take it. There is no door to hell, but you barge in. Ning Yu's eyes turned cold. He immediately rose from the ground and rushed towards Yangling at an extremely fast speed. Yangling was the 13th prince of the Great Xia Kingdom. Initially, Ning Yu didn't want to have a conflict with him here. Otherwise, he wouldn't have taken out 300,000 supreme Great Essence crystals. But things didn't go as he wished. Yangling was extremely cunning. He took the essence crystals, but didn't let them go. With Ning Yu's character, he naturally wanted to get back at him and teach Yangling a lesson. He wanted to let him know that there were some people that he could offend and some people that he couldn't. Come at me. Looking at the approaching Ning Yu, Yangling didn't get angry. Instead, he looked excited. Let me see what the core disciple of Danwu College's sacred institution is capable of. Yangling poured essence energy into his wrist and backhanded a punch to clash with Ning Yu's fist. Bang! When the two fists collided, what Yangling expected didn't happen. Evenly matched. This was his first exchange with Ning Yu, and both parties were actually evenly matched. Indeed, you have some skills. Yangling smiled faintly and said, Next, I will let you know the difference between the Yin-Yang realm and the Origin Core realm. Once he finished speaking, the essence in Yangling's sea of consciousness rumbled and gushed out, gathering at his wrist. Competing with me in terms of essence concentration? Originally, Ning Yu wanted to withdraw his palm, but when he saw Yangling's action, he immediately changed his mind. Even though Yangling's cultivation was at the initial stage of the Yin-Yang realm, Yangling was still lacking in terms of essence concentration. Buzz buzz! In the next moment, Ning Yu activated the spiritual technique and controlled the essence in his sea of consciousness to flow into his palm. In order to completely defeat Yangling, Ning Yu directly activated the essence in 2 golden elixirs. Haha, Ning Yu, do you feel better? Yangling saw Ning Yu's pained expression and could not help but laugh. If you give me another 300,000 Supreme Essence crystals, I can let you go and spare your life. You'd better take care of yourself and prepare 600,000 Transcendent Grade Origin crystals. Otherwise, I don't dare to guarantee your safety. Ning Yu said indifferently. Ha ha ha. With your pinnacle primal core realm cultivation? Yangling threw his head back and laughed. Uft. After laughing, Yangling's expression changed drastically, and he suddenly spat out a mouthful of fresh blood. Impossible, this is impossible. You are only at the pinnacle primal core realm cultivation. How can your essence be so strong? Yangling's eyes widened and his face was full of disbelief. From the force that came from his palm, Yangling judged that Ning Yu's essence was even stronger than his. One must know that he was an early-stage Yin-Yang warrior, while Ning Yu was only at the pinnacle primal core realm. How did he do it? Could it be that Ning Yu had a Dharma treasure that could strengthen his essence? Thinking of this, Yangling said viciously, I advise you to stop or else you will. Ah. However, before Yangling could finish his sentence, he let out a shriek like a pig being slaughtered, and beads of sweat appeared on his forehead. In short, 600,000 Supreme Essence crystals. Ning Yu exerted some force in his palm and said, Hand it over, and I can consider letting you go. Otherwise, I can't guarantee what will happen. As he spoke, Ning Yu secretly sent a message to Li Tongtian. Save Feng Zi and subdue Feng Chang. Li Tongtian had been looking for an opportunity all along, and now that he heard Ning Yu's words, he immediately acted and very quickly saved Feng Zi. Feng Chang was only at the early primal core realm, and with Li Tongtian's ability, he did not need to use his full strength. Ning Yu, You are the first person who has dared to ask me for so many supreme essence crystals. Although he was at an absolute disadvantage in his fight with Ningyu, Ouyang Ling still said coldly, "This is the capital, the territory of the royal family. If you stop here, I can pretend that today's incident never happened. Otherwise, at this point," Ouyang Ling paused for a moment before continuing. Chapter 647. The Four Tigers of Vajra. Chapter 647. Inch, I won't let you see the sun tomorrow. When Ouyang Ling said this, the entire area instantly quietened down. Everyone looked at Ningyu, wanting to see how Ningyu would react. Looking at the current situation, Ningyu held the absolute advantage in the fight with Ouyang Ling. It could be said that if Ningyu was willing, he could even severely injure Ouyang Ling. However, the surrounding martial artists did not think so. They knew that Ouyang Ling was the 13th prince and had an extremely high status in the imperial family. If Ningyu dared to deal a heavy blow to Ouyang Ling, the imperial family would probably not sit by and do nothing. Whether I can see the sun tomorrow or not, it's not up to you. Ningyu was already used to everyone's reaction and did not take it to heart. I'll ask you one last time. 600,000 supreme great essence crystals. Will you take it or not? Humph. You want to snatch supreme great essence crystals from my hands? Dream on. Ouyang Ling snorted coldly. All these years, it's always others who give me supreme great essence crystals. I've never given others supreme great essence crystals. Since that's the case, I can only apologize to you. Ningyu shrugged and then exerted a little force with his palm. Crack! Ah, a crisp sound, accompanied by a miserable shriek that sounded like a pig being slaughtered, resounded in the area. The crack came from Sikong Ling's wrist being broken. The shriek came from Ouyang Ling's mouth. Still not coming out? Take down this arrogant fellow, Ningyu. The pain that came from his wrist caused Ouyang Ling to let out a shrill cry. After the shrill cry, Ouyang Ling withdrew a storage pouch from his pocket and said fiercely, "I'll pay 300,000 transcendent grade origin crystals for anyone that can kill Ningyu." Swoosh! However, just as Ouyang Ling took out the storage pouch, Ningyu's eyes lit up and he immediately dashed out. In the next moment, Ningyu flashed past Ouyang Ling like a bolt of lightning. Damn it! My storage bag! My supreme grade origin crystals! Lowering his head to look at his empty palm, Ouyang Ling shouted, "For Tigers of Vajra! Kill Ningyu at all costs!" Buzz! As soon as Ouyang Ling's voice fell, the space around him suddenly trembled. Then, for cultivators landed beside him. Hiss! As soon as the four tigers of Vajra appeared, the surrounding martial artists with low cultivation all gasped. Mid-Yin-Yang realm, based on the aura emitted by the Vajra four tigers, everyone could tell that their cultivation had reached the mid-stage of the Yin-Yang realm. Four intermediate Yin-Yang stage martial artists suddenly appeared in the crowd, causing a commotion among the crowd. Everyone chose to retreat. Brother Dan, should we stop them? The appearance of the four Vajra tigers naturally attracted the attention of Peng Zhou and Dan Chenzi. Among them, Peng Zhou frowned and said, "Ouyang Ling is the 13th prince. If anything happens to him, I'm afraid Ouyang Ba will not let it go. There's no need to stop them. Although Ningyu is arrogant, he won't kill Ouyang Ling in front of everyone unless he wants to die." Dan Chenzi waved his hand and said, "There are only 10 minutes left before the alchemy competition. I advise you to contact Situ Win as soon as possible." Situ Win, that guy, I wonder where he died. Speaking of Situ Win, Peng Zhou was instantly furious. The alchemy competition was about to begin, but there was no sign of Situ Win. The Situ family controls Defu Royal City, and Situ Win is a genius that the Situ family has trained with all their resources. If anything happens to him, it will be troublesome for you, Dan Chenzi said with a frown. it's unlikely that he will be killed. To ensure Situ Wen's safety, the Situ family has sent a late-stage Yin-Yang realm martial artist to protect him. Peng Zhou thought for a while and said, I'll send someone to look for him. Hopefully, he will be found in the last 10 minutes. Let's not talk about Situ Wen for now. Brother Dan, when the elites from the various forces come, I hope you can share the burden for me. There were still 10 minutes before the alchemy competition began, but Danwu College, Drunken Cloud Heights, the Black Market, and the Zhang family had not sent any elites over. Peng Zhou was definitely worried. Putting Danwu College aside, the other three forces all had elders at the peak of the Yin-Yang realm. There was even a rumor that the leader of the Black Market, the Black Widow, had already reached the half-step manifestation realm. Don't worry. The alchemy competition is a grand event for the entire Xia kingdom. No one will come and cause trouble. Dan Qinzi smiled, indicating that Peng Zhou could rest assured. Don't worry. I am the president of the Alchemy Union. If there is any danger this time, I will have to bear a lot of responsibility. How can I not worry? Peng Zhou cursed in his heart, but he said, with Brother Dan's words, I am relieved. Let's see how Ningyu will deal with the 4 tigers. Swoosh! In the plaza, Ningyu looked at the 4 middle-stage Yin-Yang stage cultivators in front of him without any change in his expression. Oh, Yangling, do you think that these nobodies can defeat me? Ningyu had even killed a peak Yin-Yang realm martial artist before, so he naturally did not care about a mere mid-Yin-Yang realm martial artist. Nobodies. Oh, Yangling couldn't believe his ears. His eyes widened as he said, Don't look down on them just because they are at the intermediate Yin-Yang stage. If the 4 of them joined forces, even a late Yin-Yang stage martial artist would be defeated. Ningyu, I admit that you are strong, but you are only at the peak of the primal core stage. Your overall strength is only comparable to a mid-Yin-Yang realm martial artist. Oh, Yangling's lips curled up as he continued. Against the 4 tigers, you won't even last 3 moves. Sigh, some people are really full of themselves. Ningyu sighed softly and said, not to mention the 4 tigers, even if it were the 5 tigers or the 6 tigers, I would still be fearless. Arrogant. Oh, Yangling shouted. Whoosh! Perhaps sensing Oh Yangling's anger, the 4 tigers immediately rushed out and attacked Ningyu from 4 directions. This time, Ningyu has kicked an iron plate. Yes, the 4 tigers are all mid-Yin-Yang realm martial artists. How can Ningyu be their match? In my opinion, 3 moves at most. Within 3 moves, Ningyu will be defeated. 3 moves is a bit exaggerated. After all, Ningyu still defeated the early Yin-Yang realm Ouyangling. A martial artist spoke up for Ningyu. According to my estimation, Ningyu should be able to withstand 5 moves, or even 10. Reincarnation palm. Ningyu's ears directly filtered out the crowd's discussion. With a flick of his wrist, he attacked the mid-Yin-Yang realm martial artist at the forefront. When he had defeated Ouyangling, Ningyu had not used up all the primal qi in his 2 golden elixirs, so there was still a large portion left on his wrist. Furthermore, in order to achieve victory in 1 move, Ningyu secretly separated a bit of soul power and wrapped it around his wrist. Combined with the remaining primal qi, he used the 6th move of the Phantom Reincarnation Palm. Chapter 648. Yuan Increasing Array. Chapter 648. Yuan Increasing Array Rumble. The palm print was small at first, but it grew larger as time went on. In the end, it grew to the size of a person. Moreover, the violent Yuan Qi fluctuation on the palm print caused the surrounding onlookers to retreat again and again. They chose to retreat because they felt a strong sense of danger from the palm print. Acting mysterious. Comparatively speaking, the 4 tigers were in a much better state. After all, they were intermediate Yin-Yang stage martial artists who had fought advanced Yin-Yang stage martial artists before. Although the power of the palm print seemed to be great, in their hearts, It was not much different from the attack of an ordinary yin-yang realm martial artist. Formation. With a low shout, the leader of the 4 tigers, Golden Tiger, waved his hands repeatedly, and a small array appeared in front of him. Hiss! Seeing the small array formation appear, the remaining 3 middle-stage yin-yang realm cultivators poured their essence energy into the array formation without holding back. Ningyu, be careful. This is a yuan increasing array that can increase a martial artist's yuan qi. Remember not to compete with them in terms of yuan qi density. At that moment, Hong Mo's voice sounded in Ningyu's mind. Hearing Hong Mo's voice, Ningyu was stunned at first. Then he asked, "The 4 of them are intermediate yin-yang stage martial artists. With the support of the yuan increasing array, their yuan qi density can reach the peak of the advanced yin-yang stage." The peak of the advanced yin-yang stage. Ningyu frowned slightly and came up with a countermeasure. Crack! At the same time, the reincarnation palm print collided with the array set up by the 4 tigers and dissipated. Ha ha ha, Ningyu, you can't even break the array. How are you going to fight me? Yingling laughed when he saw the palm print dissipate. Idiot! Ning, you did not even look at him. He immediately summoned the yuan qi in his sea of consciousness and wrapped it around his wrist. Although Ningyu had added a bit of soul power to the reincarnation palm, there was too little yuan qi, causing the palm print's power to be less than 1/10 of its peak. Such a powerful palm print naturally could not break the vitality increasing formation. Damn it! For tigers of Vajra, let Ningyu have a taste of your true strength. Yangling didn't see Ningyu's expression, but he heard Ningyu's words. As the 13th prince, how could he tolerate Ningyu calling him an idiot in front of so many people? Understood. Golden Tiger King Kong took a deep breath and immediately reached his left hand into the qi increasing formation, while his right hand blasted out a palm print. Walala! The palm print that the Vajra Golden Tiger struck out was somewhat special. It did not completely separate from the Vajra Golden Tiger's palm, and it was still connected by a thin beam of essence energy. You want to rely on the yuan increasing array to provide yuan qi. Ningyu raised his eyebrows and instantly guessed King Kong Jinhu's intentions. Although the yuan qi light pillar was relatively weak, the quality of the yuan qi inside was very high. A single strand of yuan qi was equivalent to all the yuan qi in an early primal core stage martial artist's body. If that's the case, I'll destroy your yuan increasing formation. Ningyu's eyes turned cold as he once again blasted out a palm print towards Golden Tiger's palm print. Ha ha ha! Even an advanced yin-yang stage martial artist wouldn't dare to take my palm print head-on. I don't believe. What? Seeing Ningyu's palm print fly towards his own palm print, Golden Tiger King Kong looked up to the sky and laughed. However, before he could finish laughing, his eyes widened and his face was full of confusion. In the distance, Ningyu had unknowingly appeared beside the yuan increasing formation. His fist carried a violent wave of yuan qi as it slammed into the yuan increasing formation. Oh no! The 3 of you, stop him! The sudden change of events caused Golden Tiger King Kong's expression to change drastically. The yuan increasing formation cannot be destroyed, or we will all be in danger. Haha! Don't you think it's a little too late to think of stopping me now? Ningyu grinned as his fist landed heavily on the yuan increasing formation. Crack! As soon as Ningyu's fist came into contact with the yuan increasing formation, the yuan increasing formation made a cracking sound and collapsed with a loud bang. Uft! 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 After the yuan increasing formation collapsed, the 4 tigers were instantly dumbfounded. Then the 4 of them each spat out a mouthful of dark red blood, and their faces became extremely pale. Defeated, the 4 tigers were actually defeated. Isn't this too unbelievable? The 4 Vajra tigers are martial artists at the intermediate yin-yang realm. When the 4 of them join forces, they can even defeat and kill martial artists at the advanced yin-yang realm. How did Ning Yu defeat them? How did he defeat them? Are you blind? Ning Yu defeated them with his fists. The surrounding martial artists all revealed shocked expressions. They had not expected Ning Yu to win easily against the four of them by himself. At that moment, the martial artist who had said that Ning Yu would not be able to withstand 3 moves was flushed, and he felt worse than if he had eaten sheep dung. This is impossible. Absolutely impossible. Ouyang-ling's heart was full of bitterness. He never would have thought that the 4 tigers would be defeated in the hands of Ning Yu. One had to know that the 4 tigers had defeated advanced yin-yang stage martial artists. Ouyang-ling, you still lack 300,000 transcendent grade essence crystals. After defeating the 4 tigers, Ning Yu came to Ouyang-ling's side and said lightly, "If you don't want to lose an arm or a leg, it's better to hand over 300,000 transcendent grade essence crystals." Hearing Ning Yu's words, Ouyang-ling's face was gloomy, and he was having an intense mental struggle in his heart. This time he brought a total of 700,000 transcendent grade essence crystals. Among them, 300,000 had already been snatched by Ning Yu. Now that Ning Yu still wanted to ask him for 300,000 transcendent grade essence crystals, he was naturally unwilling, because if he took out another 300,000 transcendent grade essence crystals, he would only be left with 100,000 transcendent grade essence crystals. You don't want to take it out? The corner of Ning Yu's lips curled up. Sure, leave an arm behind. Then Ning Yu released a little of his aura and pressed down on Ouyang-ling. Being pressured by Ning Yu's aura, Ouyang-ling felt a sweetness in his throat and spat out a mouthful of fresh blood. "I'll give you the essence crystals." Clenching his fists, Ouyang-ling said in a low voice, "Isn't it just 300,000 transcendent grade essence crystals? I can take it out easily." Swoosh! Ouyang-ling flicked his sleeves, and a storage pouch rushed out and flew towards Ning Yu. "Pa!" Ning Yu caught the storage pouch firmly and sent a bit of his soul power into it to check. Then he nodded and said, "You're much richer than the other princes. If there's such a good thing in the future, don't forget about me. Let's go." Ouyang-ling's face was gloomy. He first glared at Ning Yu, then walked out of the square without looking back. Behind Ouyang-ling, the 4 tigers of Vajra were indignant. Shameful, it was really shameful. The 4 tigers of Vajra knew very well that they had not only embarrassed themselves, but they had also embarrassed Ouyang-ling. Chapter 649. Chapter 649. Old ancestor demonic Devo Yangling's compromise shocked the surrounding onlookers. Ouyang-ling was the most mysterious and powerful prince in the royal family. Now that he chose to compromise, didn't that mean that there was not a single prodigy in the entire royal family who could compete with Ning Yu? That's too scary. With Ning Yu's strength, I'm afraid it won't be long before he can participate in the test to become the sacred son. Of course, if I'm not wrong, Ning Yu's martial strength is enough to become the sacred son. The sacred son is the absolute prodigy of Danwu College. He can be said to be the absolute prodigy of the great Xia kingdom. If Ning Yu wants to become the sacred son, he's still a little far off. After Sikongling left, the crowd started to discuss. The focus of everyone's discussion was on Ning Yu. More accurately, it was on whether Ning Yu could become the sacred son. No one noticed that in another corner of the square, a young man was staring at Ning Yu with a grave expression. A formidable opponent. In Hangdong's heart, he had already placed Ning Yu on the same level as a formidable opponent. In the next test, Ning Yu has hopes of making the leap from a core disciple to a sacred son. Hangdong said in a low voice, "He's so strong at such a young age. I guess the higher-ups of Danwu College have already decided on him as the candidate for the 100 Academy tournament. I just don't know how his alchemy skills are." Suddenly, Hangdong's heart skipped a beat, and he quickly turned his head away. Did he discover me? Hang Dong was very shocked. One should know that he was observing Ningyu very carefully. He didn't even use his perception. If Ningyu could still discover him, it would be too abnormal. Peak of primal core cultivation. Early 6th grade soul force. The corner of Ningyu's mouth lifted as he murmured. He must be the third person sent by Danwu College. Li Tongtian had mentioned that Danwu College had sent 3 people to participate in the alchemy competition. One was himself, and the other was Shuyang. This primal core pinnacle martial artist was most likely the last one. Whoosh! Whoosh! Right at this moment, the space above the plaza suddenly split open, and then 2 cultivators appeared from within. He's finally here. When Peng Zhou saw the 2 cultivators appear from the void, he immediately stood up from his chair. That's not right. The drunken cloud manor sent Xiaoji, who is at the pinnacle of the Yinyang realm, but the Zhang family only sent their second elder, Zhanglei, who is at the middle stage of the Yinyang realm. Dan Chenzi's expression changed slightly when he sensed the auras coming from the 2 martial artists. Generally speaking, for a grand event like the alchemy competition, the major forces would definitely send their strongest experts to participate. It was to show off their strength. On the other hand, the Zhang clan had only sent Zhang Lei, who was at the intermediate Yinyang realm. Voila! After Xiao, Ji, and Zhang Lei appeared, they did not linger in the air for even a moment. They directly landed on the high platform. There are many matters to attend to in the manor, so I am late. I hope President Peng will forgive me, Xiaoji said as he found an empty chair and sat down. Hee, there are still 5 minutes before the alchemy competition begins. Old Master Xiao is not late. Peng Zhou smiled and immediately shifted his gaze to Zhang Lei. He asked curiously, is Zhang Shan in seclusion? Why isn't he here this time? Ancestor has some matters to attend to, so it's not convenient for him to come. Zhang Lei said expressionlessly. Not convenient. Peng Zhou frowned slightly. He wanted to say something else, but he hurriedly looked at the entrance of the plaza. Rumble! A loud sound rang out, and the space at the entrance of the plaza suddenly exploded. A huge shockwave spread out in all directions. Not good, everyone retreat. It's the shockwave from the space. It's very powerful. If we don't leave now, it'll be too late. That's right. Let's leave now. Swoosh! However, just as the crowd exclaimed, they realized that a cold light had shot out from the space above their heads, forcefully blocking the shockwave. Ha ha ha! The Black Widow truly lives up to her name. She must be about to advance to the manifestation stage, right? After a while, when everything had dissipated, a hearty laughter rang out in the area. Upon hearing this voice, all the martial artists in the plaza, including Ningyu, opened their mouths slightly in shock. Manifestation stage. Peak Yin-Yang stage martial artists could only advance to the manifestation stage after experiencing heavenly tribulation. However, many peak Yin-Yang stage martial artists might not even be able to touch the threshold of the manifestation stage in their entire lives. Compared to Ancestor Demon Jiu, this little girl is not just a little bit inferior. The reply to the hearty laughter was a sweet-sounding voice. Swish! Swish! Soon after, 2 figures flashed through the crowd and landed on the high platform in the blink of an eye. Hiss! When they saw the 2 martial artists that had suddenly appeared, Peng Zhou and the rest sucked in a breath of cold air. Half step to manifestation stage. The 2 martial artists before them were both at the half step to manifestation stage. One of them was called Ancestor Demon Jiu, and he was sent by Danwu College to hold the line. As for the other woman with a gauze on her head, she was the leader of the black market, the Black Widow, whose name struck terror in people's hearts. President Peng, I will not interfere in the alchemy competition. I only hope that the competition will be fair, Ancestor Demon Jiu said as he sat on the chair. Rest assured, Ancestor Demon Jiu, I will definitely be fair. Peng Zhou patted his chest and guaranteed. In front of others, Peng Zhou might not be so restrained. However, Ancestor Demon Jiu was a half-step to manifestation stage martial artist. Killing him would be as easy as blowing off dust. Under such circumstances, it would be strange if Peng Zhou could remain calm. Dong! Right, I heard that Ning Yu will also be participating in the alchemy competition. Why don't you let him up here? I want to meet him. Ancestor Demon Jiu tapped his finger on the chair beneath him and said, Ning Yu is a core disciple of the Sacred Institute. I intend to test him here. If he can pass my test, he will become a pseudo-holy son. At that time, he only needs to participate in the last 2 rounds of the competition. Swish! Ancestor Demon Jiu's words caused Peng Zhou's expression to change. Old Ghost, just a moment ago, you said that you wouldn't interfere in the alchemy competition. Now you're actually interfering. Peng Zhou only dared to curse in his heart as he sent a soul message to Ning Yu. Come over for a moment. Calling me? Upon hearing Peng Zhou's words, Ning Yu looked around and then pointed at his nose. When he saw Peng Zhou nod his head slightly, Ning Yu finally confirmed that Peng Zhou was indeed calling him. Li Tong Tian, I'll leave Lu Wei and the rest to you. Ning Yu instructed Li Tong Tian before turning to Lu Wei. I'll be right back. Swish! As soon as he finished speaking, Ning Yu rose from the ground and flew toward the platform unhurriedly. What's going on? Where is Ning Yu going? I don't know, but judging from the direction he's heading, it should be towards the stage. The people on the stage are all top-notch experts of their respective factions. What can Ning Yu do there? Could it be that President Peng of the Alchemy Union is going to teach Ning Yu a lesson because he embarrassed the 13th Prince and Zhao Kuo? Chapter 650. Chapter 650. Passing the test. While everyone was busy discussing, Ning Yu appeared on the stage. Hiss! Ning Yu sucked in a breath of cold air the moment he stood on the stage. 2 half-step manifestation realm martial artists and 3 peak yin-yang realm martial artists. Old Ancestor, Demonic, Dove, and Black Widow were both half-step manifestation realm martial artists, while Xiao, Ji, Peng Zhou, and Dan Chenzi were peak yin-yang realm martial artists. This lineup was enough to destroy any first-rate force in the Great Xia Kingdom. Peak Yuan core cultivation and peak 5th grade soul force. Black Widow sized up Ning Yu for a moment before saying, Old Ancestor Demonic, Dove, Damu College is indeed extraordinary to be able to cultivate such a peerless genius. What peerless genius? It's just that his talent is slightly higher. Old Ancestor Demonic, Dove waved his hand and said indifferently, The young master of the black market is not much weaker than Ning Yu. There is no comparison between the two. If Ning Yu is willing, he can easily defeat the top 10 young masters of the black market. Black Widow was very familiar with the black market's situation. She knew that although the black market's young masters were strong, they would not be able to fight back against Ning Yu. After thinking for a moment, Black Widow continued, Old Ancestor Demonic Dove, you said that you would test Ning Yu here. I'm very curious if he can pass your test. Old Ancestor Demonic Dove had a high status in Damu College and was responsible for the test for the Sacred Institute's martial artists to become a pseudo-holy son. As long as one could pass his test, it meant that the martial artist could easily become a pseudo-holy son and even have the chance to become a real holy son. The test can be done at any time. Old Ancestor Demonic Dove smiled and walked towards Ning Yu, as if he didn't want to test Ning Yu too early. Buzz! Others might not be able to see Old Ancestor Demonic Dove's hidden movements, but Ning Yu's eyes were very sharp. When Old Ancestor Demonic Dove walked towards him, he already noticed some clues. As expected, the moment Ancestor Demonjiu took a step forward, the wind and clouds changed colors. Even the void above the high platform was shaking a little, and the shaking was getting more and more intense. showing signs of continuing to expand. Whoosh! However, just when everyone thought that the void above the high platform would collapse because of this, a cold light suddenly shot out of the void and appeared in front of Ningyu in an instant. Spatial oppression. At this critical juncture, in order to test Ningyu, old ancestor demonic Jiao actually used space suppression to test Ningyu's martial Dao strength. In order to ensure Ningyu's safety, old ancestor demonic Jiao lowered the spatial pressure to the lowest standard for a pseudo-holy sun, late-stage yin-yang realm. In other words, any pseudo-saint who relied on martial arts to advance would be able to withstand the spatial pressure of a late-stage yin-yang realm. Since Ningyu had blocked it, it meant that he could enter the ranks of the fake saints in terms of martial arts. Since he couldn't block it, old ancestor demonic Jiao decided to probe Ningyu's pill Dao level. Use space suppression on me. Facing the spatial pressure of a late-stage yin-yang realm expert, Ningyu didn't dare to be negligent. He quickly summoned the Yuan Qi in his sea of consciousness and formed a thin Yuan Qi barrier in front of him. The Yuan Qi barrier that Ningyu used was a little special. Not only could it block Yuan Qi attacks, but it could also block the spatial pressure. Kacha! The instant the spatial pressure from old ancestor demonic Jiao came into contact with the Yuan Qi barrier, it instantly shattered it. This change was something that Ningyu hadn't expected. Damn it, it's not the spatial pressure of a late-stage yin-yang realm, but a peak yin-yang realm expert. Initially, Ningyu was worried about the spatial pressure from old ancestor demonic Jiao, but when he learned that it was only a late-stage yin-yang realm expert spatial pressure, his heart relaxed a lot. After all, with his current Yuan Qi and soul force, it was easy for him to block a mere late-stage yin-yang realm expert spatial pressure. However, the terrifying thing was that old ancestor demonic Jiao had changed the assessment method and used a peak yin-yang realm expert spatial pressure, causing Ningyu to panic. Ningyu, it's not impossible for you to block a peak yin-yang realm expert's spatial pressure. Right at this moment, the Hong Mo's voice rang in Ningyu's ears. Hearing the Hong Mo's words, the corner of Ningyu's lips curled up as a countermeasure appeared in his heart. In the next instant, Ningyu summoned his peak 5th grade soul force and gathered it at a single point along with his Yuan Qi. Go! Accompanied by Ningyu's low roar, the Yuan Qi and soul force condensed into a ball of light and shot out. Rumble! A loud explosion rang out from the high platform, instantly echoing through the entire square. Good fella! Worthy of being a core disciple of Danwu College's Sacred Institute. His strength is indeed strong. The loud explosion caused the Black Widow to jump up from her chair and exclaim in surprise, I thought that I've already overestimated Ningyu. I didn't expect him to give me another surprise. Withdraw! Old ancestor demonic Jiao's eyes lit up and he immediately retracted the spatial pressure. Old ancestor demonic Jiao. With the strength that Ningyu has displayed, it's enough for him to become the pseudo-holy prince of Danwu College. In fact, he even has a high chance of becoming a holy prince. The Black Widow's tone was filled with envy. If the black market could have a peerless genius like Ningyu, why would she need to set up so many young lords? He has met the requirements to become a pseudo-holy prince, but he's still far from becoming a holy prince. Old ancestor, demonic Jew said indifferently, the holy prince of Danwu College, whether it is in terms of martial Dao or alchemy Dao, he is at the peak of the great Xia kingdom's younger generation. Even the older generation might not be as strong as a holy prince. Although Ningyu's martial Dao is strong, there's still a long way to go before he reaches the peak of yin-yang realm. There's always motivation when there's a gap. The Black Widow laughed. President Peng, since Ningyu has passed the pseudo-holy prince's test, he doesn't need to participate in the first few rounds. He only needs to participate in the last 2 rounds. Old ancestor demonic Jiu turned to Peng Zhou and said, "In addition, if there's nothing else, the competition can start now. Don't let everyone wait too long. Start my fart. Situ Wen still hasn't arrived yet, but Danwu College has sent 4 monsters." Peng Zhou muttered in his heart, but he still said honestly, "Excuse me for a moment, I'll go and arrange the first few rounds of the competition." Peng Zhou first signaled Dan Qinzi with his eyes. Then he flew up and landed on one of the circular platforms. Behind him, Dan Qinzi followed closely. "Cough, cough!" Peng Zhou's eyes slowly scanned the entire square, and after 2 dry coughs, he said in a clear voice, "I won't waste any more time. I believe everyone has been waiting for the start of the alchemy competition. I hereby announce the official start of the alchemy competition." Peng Zhou's words contained a faint fluctuation of essence qi, allowing all the martial artists in the square to hear it clearly. Let me briefly introduce the rules of this alchemy competition. There are a total of 4 rounds, and the first round is the preliminary selection. The requirement is to refine a 3rd-grade elixir. Chapter 651. The 3rd Round Whoosh. When the 3 words origin condensing pill came out of Peng Zhou's mouth, the entire square instantly became clamorous. Oh no, no. The first round of assessment is to refine a peak 3rd-grade pill, the essence solidifying pill. It seems like I have to stop here. What the hell is Peng Zhou doing? If the first round is to refine the essence solidifying pill, at least 80 to 90% of the participants will be eliminated. Maybe Peng Zhou is trying to filter out the geniuses as soon as possible. He doesn't want to waste too much time. Hearing that the first round of assessment was to refine the essence solidifying pill, some of the alchemists who had yet to reach 3rd grade felt bitter. To them, it was indeed cruel to be eliminated in the first round. The second round of assessment is to refine a 4th-grade pill, the true martial pill. Peng Zhou was very satisfied with the crowd's reaction. This was the effect he wanted. He wanted the elites. He did not want any of the nobodies. Peng Zhou looked around and continued. The 3rd round of assessment is to refine a 5th-grade pill. Let me explain. Alchemists who pass the 3rd round of assessment will enter the final round and will be rewarded handsomely by the Alchemy Union. What reward? Someone asked. Hee, as for the reward, let's wait and see. Peng Zhou smiled and said, the 4th round of assessment will determine the top 3. By then, Danwu College will give you an unexpected surprise. All right, enough talking. Next, those who have registered can go up to the high platform and start refining the essence, solidifying pill. Peng Zhou said in a deep voice, the time limit for the first round is half an hour. Good luck to everyone. After saying this, Peng Zhou's figure flashed and he flew towards the high platform. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. As soon as Peng Zhou left, the people around the 10 round platforms rose from the ground and rushed towards the round platforms. There were 10 giant round platforms and 10 stone tables on each of them. There were cauldrons and storage bags on the stone tables. The ingredients and pill furnaces for the first 2 rounds of the assessment were provided by the Alchemy Union. Those who registered only needed to go up the stage and refine the corresponding pill within the allotted time. Senior, I have a friend who wants to participate in the first round of the assessment, I think. Ning Yu hurriedly cupped his hands towards Ancestor Demonic Joe when he saw the crowd rushing towards the stage. You can refine grade 3 and grade 4 pills effortlessly, so just stay here and wait until it's your turn. It won't be too late to go on stage. Ancestor Demonjiu waved his hand, interrupting Ningyu's words. As for your friends, you can rest assured. With me here, no one will dare to make a move against them. I just want to help Lu Wei enter the finals, not worry about their safety. Ning Yu cursed in his heart, but on the surface he said, Thank you, Senior. Haha, In the Great Xia Kingdom, perhaps old ancestor demonic Dub's martial arts strength isn't too high, but his overall strength is enough to rank in the top 5. Black Widow said with a faint smile. This Black Widow doesn't seem to be that old. From the Black Widow's words, Ning Yu could roughly estimate her age. She should be between 25 to 30 years old. To be able to reach the half-step manifestation realm at such a young age, one had to admit that her talent was truly heaven-defying. Naturally, the gap between him and Ningyu in his previous life was still huge. After all, in his previous life, Ningyu had broken through to the heavenly supreme realm at the age of 30. He was a well-deserved, peerless genius of the demonic sky domain. Crack, boom, rumble. All sorts of sounds rang out from the 10 stages. There were pills exploding, cauldrons exploding, and people falling down. In any case, it was chaotic. For such a large-scale alchemy competition, it wasn't just a test of one's alchemy level, but also one's mental fortitude and adaptability. Even if it was only a 3rd-grade condensing pill, there were still many 4th-grade alchemists who failed to refine it within the stipulated time. As there were simply too many people signing up for the alchemy competition, the first round of assessment lasted from morning until noon before it ended. After a few hours of competition, there were only 200 martial artists who successfully passed the 2nd round of the competition. Lu Wei and Si Kongling were naturally eliminated due to their low alchemy level. The 2nd round of the competition begins now. As expected, Peng Zhou followed the principle of not wasting time and immediately began the 2nd round of the competition. There were 200 martial artists, 20 on each stage. This time they were refining a 4th-grade condensing pill, the true martial pill. The stipulated time was 1 hour. Compared to the condensing pill, the true martial pill was a few levels more difficult to refine. Although the Alchemy Union gave 1 hour, to most alchemists, especially 4th-grade alchemists, time was still tight. Boom! Boom! Those who could successfully pass the first round of the competition were mostly capable, so there were no cases of falling down. Although they did not fall down, there were still cases of pills exploding, and it was more frequent. Their mental fortitude is too weak. Many of them could have refined the true martial pill, but they ended up exploding in the end. On the stage, Ancestor Demonic Geo shook his head and immediately changed the topic, but they are all good seedlings. If they can enter Danwu College and train for a period of time, they will definitely have a bright future. Old Fox. Hearing Ancestor Demonic Geo's words, Peng Zhou's heart was in a bad mood. His original intention of holding the competition was to attract all the geniuses in the Great Xia country to join the Alchemy Union. How could he be happy with Ancestor Demonic Geo's interference? However, even if he was unhappy, he couldn't show it. Who asked Ancestor Demonic Geo to be stronger than him? According to my estimation, there are only about 50 alchemists who can pass the 2nd round of the competition. Black Widow said indifferently, 50 is already not bad. Ancestor Demonic Jew slowly said, there is still half an hour before the end of the 2nd round. After half an hour, we will know how many people have passed the 2nd round of the competition. Rumble. Half an hour wasn't a long time, so it passed by quickly. It wasn't until an earth-shattering explosion rang in the air that the 2nd round of the competition ended. The result was similar to Black Widow's prediction. A total of 48 alchemists passed the 3rd round of the competition. Ningyu, the 3rd round is to refine the Grade 5 Essence Transformation Pill. Go and prepare yourself. Don't disappoint me. Since Ningyu needed to participate in the 3rd round of the competition, Ancestor Demonic Geo did not detain him. Yes, Senior. Hearing Ancestor Demon Geo's words, Ningyu stomped on the ground and landed beside Lu Swan and the others. Cough, cough. Right at this time, Peng Zhou's voice sounded again, the 3rd round of the competition, refining the Grade 5 Essence Transformation Pill. Chapter 652. Visitors from West Mountain City. 10 minutes of extra time to refine pills? Hearing Peng Zhou's words, the 48 martial artists who passed the second round of assessment felt that something was amiss. 10 minutes of extra time to refine a supreme-grade elemental elixir. Didn't that mean that the fourth round of elimination would be extremely cruel? It was highly possible that they would be refining a sixth-grade elixir. Hiss! Thinking of this, the 48 alchemists who were originally excited instantly felt a chill in their hearts. Most of their alchemy skills were between 4th grade and 5th grade. Even advanced 5th grade alchemists were rare. This meant that based on their level of alchemy, they would not be able to refine a 6th grade elixir. However, nothing was absolute. Some of the hidden geniuses in the major alchemy unions were very calm at this moment. The third round of assessment will be provided by the Alchemy Union. However, the alchemy furnace will have to be prepared individually. Peng Zhou continued. The third round of assessment will also last for an hour. Everyone, get ready for 5 minutes and start refining the elemental elixir. Buzz, buzz. As soon as Peng Zhou finished his sentence, the originally quiet plaza became lively once again. TSK, I wonder how many alchemists will be eliminated in the third round. Based on this ratio, I guess around 30 will be eliminated. That's about right. The fourth round should be an elimination round. Any alchemist who can enter the fourth round will be able to hold their own. Let's wait and see. There are many cities in the Great Xia Kingdom, and every city has an alchemy union. The third round of assessment will be the time to witness the true strength of the major alchemy unions. The discussions of the crowd entered Ningyu's ears, but did not affect Ningyu in the slightest. At this moment, Ningyu was discussing with Li Tongtian and the rest below a round platform. Ningyu, the third round of assessment is to refine the elemental elixir. Are you aiming for the supreme grade elemental elixir? Li Tongtian asked. Actually, Li Tongtian really wanted to refine the supreme grade elemental elixir. After all, if he could refine the supreme grade elemental elixir, he would have an additional 10 minutes to refine pills. To Li Tongtian, 10 minutes was extremely precious. It could even determine if he could refine a 6th grade elixir. It's not as simple as you think. This could be a trap, Ningyu said in a low voice. A trap? What kind of trap could there be? Li Tongtian asked doubtfully. It's very simple. The third and fourth rounds of assessment will be held at the same time. We will only be given a maximum of 10 minutes to rest. Ningyu explained, once we attempt to break through to the transcendent grade essence transformation pill in the third round, even if we succeed, we will definitely consume too much energy and will not be able to quickly recover to our peak state. The alchemy competition is so intense. If I'm not at my peak condition in the fourth round, I'll most likely be eliminated. I see. After listening to Ningyu's explanation, Li Tongtian came to a sudden realization and promptly dismissed the idea of trying to concoct a transcendent grade primary transformation pill. If he expended too much energy in the third round, he would indeed put himself at a disadvantage. Fingzi, if you have something to say, just say it. There's no need to be restrained with me. Ningyu had wanted to say something to Li Tongtian, but seeing Feng Zi's expression, Ningyu said, with our relationship, your business is my business. Ningyu, I want to kill Feng Chang with my own hands. Feng Zi clenched his fists, and his face was filled with anger. Feng Chang killed a few of my brothers. If I don't take revenge, I'm not a human. I thought it was something big. It's just a small matter. Ningyu smiled and waved his hand, gesturing for Xigongling to bring Feng Chang over. I'll leave Feng Chang to you. You can do whatever you want with him. It has nothing to do with me. Ningyu said, as for the 13th prince, you don't have to worry at all. You'll be by my side during this period of time. If the 13th prince dares to make a move on you, I naturally won't stand idly by. Time's up. All the martial artists participating in the third round of assessment Go to the round platform." Just then, Peng Zhou's voice rang in the square. "The main examiner for the third round of assessment is Elixir King Dan Chinzi. The time limit for the third round of assessment is 1 hour." Swoosh! Swoosh! Actually, the 5 minutes of preparation time that Peng Zhou gave everyone was useless. Once the time was up, everyone flew to the round platform. "Let's go too!" Ningyu and Li Tongtian looked at each other, then rose from the ground and rushed to the same round platform. After Ningyu entered the round platform, he didn't start refining elixirs immediately. Instead, he quietly observed the pill masters on the round platform. Ningyu was on the 10th round platform. Including him and Li Tongtian, there were a total of 5 pill masters. Among the remaining 3 pill masters, 2 of them were only at the advanced stage of the 4th grade. It would probably be difficult for them to pass this round. The last pill master caught Ningyu's attention. "Something's not right." Ningyu frowned slightly because he felt a dangerous aura from this pill master. It wasn't that this pill master had a high level of cultivation or a strong soul power. On the contrary, this pill master was only at the advanced stage of the primal core stage, and his soul power was only at the pinnacle of the 4th grade. Logically speaking, with this pill master's cultivation and soul power, Ningyu didn't even need to use his full strength to defeat him. Since Ningyu sensed a trace of dangerous aura from him, there was only one explanation, and that was that this alchemist was pretending to be a pig to eat the tiger. Could it be that some old demon has used a disguise technique to participate in the pill refining competition? Suddenly, this thought appeared in Ningyu's mind. The moment it appeared, he couldn't get rid of it, and it grew stronger and stronger. "Ningyu, it's time to start refining elixirs. The earlier you can refine the superior grade shifting pill, the more time you have to rest." Seeing that Ningyu was in a daze, Li Tongtian hurriedly reminded him, "It's fine." Ningyu waved his hand, telling Li Tongtian not to worry. With Ningyu's skill in refining elixirs like the shifting pill did not require that much time and could be easily refined. If I'm not wrong, you should be a core disciple of Danwu College's Sacred Institute, Ningyu. When Ningyu was looking at the mysterious pill master was also looking at Ningyu. The mysterious pill master was the first to break the silence and spoke to Ningyu. "Let me introduce myself. I am from the West Mountain City. My name is Xie. West Mountain City." Ningyu's brows raised when he heard this. He had heard of the West Mountain City before. It was a chaotic place in the Xia Kingdom and was rumored to be very dangerous. Some time ago, he even went to the West Mountain City with the 3rd prince, Oyanghai. They didn't expect to meet the Spirit Fox team. In the end, the 3rd prince was killed, and the Spirit Fox team was annihilated. It's good that you have heard of it. However, there is one thing that you might not have heard of. Let me tell you. Xian's face was expressionless as he said, "In the years that the 13th prince disappeared, he went to many places. His final destination was the West Mountain City." Chapter 653. I'm lying. What does it have to do with me whether the 13th prince has been to West Mountain City or not? Xian's words only caught Ningyu's attention for a moment, but he did not take it to heart. Even the 13th prince and his 4 Yinyang intermediate stage martial artists were no match for me, let alone a late Yuan Dan martial artist like you. Hee, it's all right, it's not that important. Xian smiled and continued. What I wanted to tell you is that there's still a long time before the competition ends. Let's play slowly. Idiot. Ning, you could not be bothered with Xian. After calling him an idiot, he took out an elixir cauldron and placed it on the stone table. At the same time, he grabbed a medicinal herb with his right hand and threw it into the cauldron. Seeing that Ningyu had started to concoct elixirs, Xian turned his wrist and did the same thing as Ningyu. "Want to copy me?" Ning Yu's lips curled up as he threw the rest of the medicinal herbs into the cauldron. Look, what is Ning Yu doing? Why did he throw all the medicinal herbs into the cauldron? This is a Tier 5 Yuan elixir. Is Ning Yu planning to use his unique method of concocting elixirs? What unique method? Some martial artists who did not understand asked. What else can it be? Ning Yu's unique method of concocting elixirs. He throws all the medicinal herbs into the cauldron at once. A martial artist who had seen Ning Yu concoct elixirs before explained, although Ning Yu's method of concocting elixirs is unique, it is very effective and fast. Humph. I don't believe that Ning Yu can use this method to concoct the Yuan elixir. A Tier 5 intermediate alchemist snorted. Whoosh! As soon as this Tier 5 intermediate alchemist finished speaking, the area became noisy again. Everyone was shocked. The reason why everyone was surprised this time was not because of Ning Yu's unique refining method, but because the other pill master on the same round table as Ning Yu had also thrown all the medicinal herbs into the pill furnace. What the hell was going on? Could it be that Ning Yu had passed on his unique alchemy method to the alchemist next to him? Gulp. Thinking of this, many martial artists swallowed a mouthful of saliva. If this alchemy method could be spread out, wouldn't it mean that they would also have a chance to learn it? This was a huge temptation. Even if you were a 6th grade pill master, you would definitely not be able to withstand it. Ning Yu, I forgot to tell you, when I was in Western Mountain City, the pill I refined the most was the Yuan transformation pill. My control over it has already reached the point of perfection. Xia Yan looked at Ning Yu provocatively and said, If I refine all the herbs together, I have an 80% chance of refining a mid-grade origin melting pill. Sigh, in the past, I did not believe that there were idiots in this world. Hearing Xia Yan's provocative words, Ning Yu sighed softly and said lightly, Now I believe it. You can instinctively refine a high-grade or even a transcendent-grade Yuan transformation pill, but you act like an idiot and want to refine a mid-grade Yuan transformation pill. What do you mean? Xia Yan said coldly. Nothing. You will know when you see it. Ning Yu shrugged, then reached into the pill furnace and took out the storage bag. Looking at the storage bag in Ning Yu's hand, Xia Yan was dumbfounded and could not believe his eyes. After all this time, Ning Yu did not throw all the medicinal herbs into the pill furnace. I knew it. Ning Yu could not be so stupid. That's right. The Yuan transformation pill is a 5th grade pill. His unique alchemy method should not be suitable. I don't know whether it is suitable or not. I only know that the alchemist threw all the medicinal herbs into the pill furnace. Swoosh! The last cultivator's words directly attracted everyone's attention to Xia Yan. Everyone wanted to see if Xia Yan could refine a Yuan transformation pill using this method. Good luck. Ning Yu smiled at Xia Yan, and then a wisp of blue flame appeared on the fingertips of his right hand and began to burn the bottom of the furnace. Following that, Ning Yu unhurriedly placed the medicinal herbs into the pill furnace. This is infuriating. Xia Yan was so angry that his whole body was trembling. If this wasn't an alchemy competition, he would have taught Ning Yu a lesson. He was tricked. Ever since he left West Mountain City, this was the first time he was tricked. Want to see me make a fool of myself? How could it be so easy? Taking a deep breath, Xia Yan thought to himself, even if I use this method, I can easily refine a Yuan transformation pill. Hee, interesting, very interesting. On the high platform, Ancestor, Demonic Joe's eyes slowly swept across the 10 round platforms, finally landing on the demonic eye. A faint smile appeared on Ancestor, Demonic Joe's face when he saw Xia Yan's violent alchemy method. Ancestor, Demonic Joe, didn't doubt Xia Yan's ability to refine a Yuan transformation pill. What he was curious about was what grade of Yuan transformation pill Xia Yan could refine. In the past, Danu College also had a peerless alchemy Dao genius, a holy prince from the previous batch. That holy prince also used this method to refine a yuan transformation pill, and it was a high-grade one at that. If Xia Yan could refine a high-grade yuan transformation pill, it meant that his talent in the alchemy Dao was comparable to the previous batch's holy prince. President Peng, the alchemist next to Ningyu, where does he come from? Ancestor, demonic Jiu, calmly asked. Xia Yan? Peng Zhou's eyes were sharp and immediately noticed Xia Yan. Thinking for a moment, he said, Xia Yan comes from West Mountain City, representing West Mountain City's alchemy union to participate in the alchemy competition. West Mountain City. Ancestor, demonic Jiu, frowned slightly. He had heard of the chaotic West Mountain City and had even come into contact with the strongest master there. However, as far as he knew, West Mountain City's martial Dao was more prosperous, while its alchemy Dao was on the decline. For an alchemy Dao genius like Xia Yan to appear in West Mountain City, it was beyond ancestor demonic Zhou's expectations. What is it? Peng Zhou asked in confusion. Nothing much. There are several good seedlings in this alchemy competition. After the competition ends, I want to ask them if they have any thoughts of joining Danwu College. Ancestor demonic Jiu waved his hand and said, President Peng, you wouldn't mind, right? Of course not, Peng Zhou said, but his heart was filled with hatred. It would be strange if he didn't mind. That old fart is clearly trying to snatch geniuses from the alchemy union. How could it be so easy? Haha, it's good that you don't mind. Someone should be able to complete the pill soon. Ancestor, demonic Jiu, naturally knew what Peng Zhou was thinking. Instead of getting angry, he smiled. That should be impossible, right? Only 20 minutes have passed since the third round. Who would have the ability to refine an yuan transformation pill? Peng Zhou didn't believe it. To refine an yuan transformation pill in 20 minutes, even if it was a low-grade yuan transformation pill, it wasn't easy. One had to know that even an ordinary mid-sixth grade alchemist might not be able to do it. Peng. At this time, a crisp sound rang out from the first round stage. Peng. Peng. Chapter 654. Chapter 654. Refining the rules, a few voices rang out from the round platform, causing Peng Zhou's mouth to widen slightly as a grave expression appeared on his face. To be able to refine the energy transformation pill in 20 minutes, putting aside the grade of the pill, just the amount of time required was already amazing enough. Suddenly, Peng Zhou's expression changed. He realized that there were sounds of pills being formed on all 9 platforms, except for the 10th platform. The reason why Peng Zhou was puzzled was because the alchemists on the 10th round table were a little special. There was Ningyu, Li Tongtian, and Xia Yan from West Mountain City. Logically speaking, with these 3 alchemy geniuses around, it was impossible for no one to refine the energy transformation pill in 20 minutes. Only an idiot would refine the energy transformation pill in such a short time, Li Tongtian murmured as he glanced around. After listening to Ningyu's explanation, Li Tongtian had learned his lesson. He could have also refined the energy transformation pill in 20 minutes, but he did not do so. If he purely focused on speed, he would definitely expend a lot of his soul energy. This would be very disadvantageous to him when he was refining the grade 6 pill later. Since he was going to pass the test anyway, there was no difference between a little earlier and a little later. Of course, the prerequisite was that he did not refine a supreme grade energy transformation pill. Otherwise, he would have an additional 10 minutes to refine the pill. When the remaining alchemists saw that someone had successfully refined the energy transformation pill, they increased their speed. In the following period of time, there would be one or a few alchemists refining the pill every few minutes. Ning Yu observed these alchemists who had completed their pills for a while and discovered that the yuan transformation pills they had refined were all of the lower grade. Only a few of them had refined a middle-grade yuan transformation pill. Zhao Kuo is quite smart. He knows not to expend too much energy in the early stages. When Ningyu's gaze landed on Zhao Kuo, he was slightly surprised. Ningyu, wait for me in the 4th round. Zhao Kuo seemed to see Ningyu looking at him. He turned to look at Ningyu and raised 4 fingers. Let's compete to see who can refine the pill first. Ningyu raised his eyebrows and smirked. At the same time, he slammed his right hand on the cauldron. Whoosh! In a split second, a pill burst out from the cauldron and landed firmly in Ningyu's hand. Humph! Zhao Kuo snorted coldly when he saw Ningyu's action. He also slapped the cauldron with his right hand and produced a round pill. Zhao Kuo had a very complacent expression on his face as he waved the upper-grade energy transformation pill in his hand, as if he was saying, I concocted an upper-grade energy transformation pill. What grade are you concocting? Ningyu did not take Zhao Kuo's provocation to heart. Instead, he placed the origin melting pill on the table and slowly walked down from the round platform. Bang! Ningyu had just walked down from the round platform when Li Tongtian had just finished concocting the elemental transformation pill. The quality was not too high, it was just a low-grade pill. Ningyu, do you think that martial artist can refine the yuan converting pill? After Li Tongtian walked down the stage, he immediately started chatting with Ningyu. The crux of their conversation was Xie Yan. According to my observations, he should have no problem refining the yuan converting pill. Ningyu said, although he appears to be a peak 4th grade alchemist, I have a feeling that he is pretending to be weak. In reality, he is at least an early stage 6th grade alchemist. An early stage 6th grade alchemist? Li Tongtian frowned slightly, a little shocked. Since when did a 6th grade alchemist become so cheap? Any random person could be a 6th grade alchemist. This made him, the fake holy son of Dongwu College, feel very hurt. More or less, he might even be a middle stage 6th grade alchemist. Ningyu nodded. He is a formidable opponent, Li Tongtian said in a low voice. I just wonder what grade of energy transformation pill he can refine. Rumble. As soon as Li Tongtian finished a sentence, Xie Yan slapped the cauldron hard on the round platform. In an instant, the lid of the cauldron flew up and a round pill shot out from the cauldron. Smack! Xie Yan's hands moved quickly, and he caught the pill firmly in his hand. Middle stage energy transformation pill. In the instant that the energy transformation pill flew out of the cauldron, Ningyu discovered its true grade. Middle stage. Using such a crazy method of refining pills, Xie Yan was actually able to refine a middle stage energy transformation pill. He really had some skills. Swoosh! When the crowd in the square saw that Xie Yan had not only successfully refined the energy transformation pill, but that it had also reached the middle stage, they were all shocked. The talent that Xie Yan had displayed was probably enough to rank him in the top 5 among all the people present. Whoosh! Xie Yan had successfully refined the energy transformation pill at the 50th minute. In the remaining 10 minutes, a few more alchemists had successfully refined their pills. Time's up. At the 60th minute, Dan Chenzi announced in a clear voice, all alchemists, leave the round platform immediately. I will begin to inspect the pills that you have refined. Swoosh! Swoosh! Hearing Dan Chenzi's words, the martial artists who did not manage to refine the energy transformation pill within the allotted time revealed looks of disappointment. Actually, it was no wonder that they were disappointed. This was because once they entered the 4th round, they would receive a generous reward from Dongwu College. Dongwu College was a colossus. The reward that they would give would definitely not be bad. Dan Chenzi did not care about the disappointed expressions of these alchemists. He split his soul perception and began to inspect the authenticity of the energy transformation pill that everyone had refined. After a while, Dan Chinzi said in a deep voice, "There are a total of 16 martial artists who have successfully refined the energy transformation pill. Unfortunately," speaking up to this point, Dan Chinzi paused for a moment before continuing, "among these energy transformation pills, the best quality is high grade. There are no transcendent grade energy transformation pills. Therefore, in the fourth round of elimination, no one will be able to obtain an additional 10 minutes. Without further ado, I will now introduce the rules of the fourth round." Dan Chinzi's voice contained some yuan energy, causing everyone in the square to hear it clearly. The fourth round is the elimination round. It will be a one-on-one refining of pills. The rules are very simple. The loser will be directly eliminated. Whoosh! Dan Chinzi's words had just landed when the crowd burst into an uproar. The loser would be directly eliminated. This rule was simply too cruel. One could imagine that if two exceptional alchemy geniuses were to meet each other, wouldn't they be at a disadvantage? "President Prung, I suggest we change this rule." On the high platform, old ancestor Demonic Geo lightly said, "The rules are heartless. In my opinion, the fourth round will continue to refine grade 5 energy transformation pills. The loser will be directly eliminated. But if the loser can refine a transcendent grade energy transformation pill within the allotted time, he can still smoothly advance to the next round." Saying so, old ancestor Demonic Geo did not wait for Pang Zhou's approval and immediately sent a soul message to Dan Chinzi, expressing his thoughts. Dan Chinzi's face was filled with black lines as he turned to look at Pang Zhou. Pang Zhou's expression was gloomy, and his heart was filled with anger. Originally, he wanted to use the rules to eliminate the several fake holy princes of Danwu College one by one. But now it seemed that his plan had failed. Although he was furious, Pang Zhou still nodded to Dan Chinzi, indicating that he would follow old ancestor Demonic Geo's suggestion. In line with the principle of humanization, the fourth round will still be refining energy transformation pills. The allotted time is 1 hour. Dan Chinzi took a deep breath and said, "In this 1 hour, whoever refines an energy transformation pill first will directly advance to the next round." Chapter 655. Chapter 655. A trap? Ning Yu's brows furrowed. He could refine a supreme grade transformation pill, but he didn't want to expose himself too early in the elimination round. "Ning Yu, why is there a need to refine a supreme grade transformation pill in the elimination round?" Li Tongtian couldn't understand. Logically speaking, each round should be harder than the previous one, but the current rules didn't seem to show any difficulty. There's no problem refining any pill. The supreme grade transformation pill is a 5th grade pill. It's much easier to refine compared to 6th grade pills. Ning Yu continued, "Later on, you can see who your opponent is. If you have the confidence to win, then refine a supreme grade transformation pill as fast as possible. If you don't have the confidence to win, then don't be too anxious. Instead, you should prepare to refine a supreme grade transformation pill." Cough, cough. Right at this moment, old ancestor Demonic Dove coughed twice on the high platform and said, "The Danwu Academy has prepared a generous prize for all alchemists who enter the fourth round. After the alchemy competition ends, everyone can go to the Danwu Academy to collect it. F***CK. Old ancestor Demonic Zhou's words left Peng Zhou speechless. If it wasn't for his fear of old ancestor Demonic Zhou's strength, he would have taught him a lesson. This was a blatant competition for geniuses. If half of the 16 geniuses joined Danwu College, then in a few years Danwu College would dominate the Great Xia Kingdom. At that time, the Alchemy Union's development in the Great Xia Kingdom would be greatly restricted. He didn't dare to voice his anger. Peng Zhou was really angry, but he didn't dare to say anything. He could only grit his teeth and swallow it. If there's nothing else, the competition can begin. Saying this, old ancestor, demonic Jew, closed his eyes and no longer spoke. The first round, Rin Xiangtian against Sun Ku. Dan Qinzi announced. Swish, swish. As Dan Qinzi's voice fell, two figures flew out from the square and landed on the first round stage. The second round, Zhao Kuo against He Hu. Dan Qinzi continued. Swish, swish. Zhao Kuo and He Hu landed on the second round dais together. The third match is also the last match of the stage. Li Tongtian versus Xie Yan. Dan Qinzi announced expressionlessly. Hearing this arrangement, Ning Yu's heart tightened, and he faintly felt that something was wrong. Ning Yu grabbed Li Tongtian's shoulder and said in a low voice, If you compete with Xie Yan to see who can concoct the lower-grade energy transformation pill first, you will not have any advantage. Li Tongtian asked doubtfully, You mean to say that you want me to prepare to refine a supreme grade vitality transformation pill? No. Ning Yu shook his head and said, When you go up later, just do as I say. I guarantee that you'll be able to advance easily. Li Tongtian was just about to say something when he felt a wave of information enter his mind. Instantly, a look of relief appeared on his face. Whoosh! In the next moment, Li Tongtian leaped up and landed steadily on the third round platform. Ning Yu, do you think Li Tongtian will be able to defeat Xie Yan? Feng Zi was more familiar with Li Tongtian and was very concerned about whether Li Tongtian would be able to win. No problem. Although Li Tongtian might not be as good as Xie Yan in terms of raw strength, he will have no problem advancing. Ning Yu waved his hand, indicating that Feng Zi could rest assured. Hee, you're Li Tongtian, the fake holy son of Dongwu College. On the third round platform, Xie Yan's lips curled up and he said sinisterly, Initially, I wanted to let you pass this round successfully on account of how hard it was for you to cultivate. Unfortunately, you and Ning Yu know each other, so I have no choice but to eliminate you. As he spoke, Xie Yan immediately threw the alchemy furnace into the air, intending to concoct the energy transformation pill. Wait a moment, Li Tongtian said. Pardon me for asking, but what grade of pill are you intending to concoct? Of course, it's the lower grade energy transformation pill. Do you think I'm stupid? Do you want to refine a supreme grade vitality transformation pill? Xie Yan said calmly. I knew it. Li Tongtian shrugged and said, Go ahead and concoct your lower grade energy transformation pill. I'm not afraid to tell you that I'm intending to refine a supreme grade energy transformation pill. Li Tongtian's voice was slightly louder, and all the martial artists in the square heard him clearly. As he finished speaking, Li Tongtian did not care about Xie Yan's reaction. He grabbed a medicinal herb, threw it into the alchemy furnace, and began to concoct the energy transformation pill. Damn it! Xie Yan's face darkened. As the top alchemist in West Mountain City, he could not tolerate being mocked in front of so many people. However, Xie Yan did not lose his rationality. He knew that this was only the elimination round and not the finals. If he were to concoct a supreme grade energy transformation pill now, he would definitely become the center of attention. This would be extremely disadvantageous to him. Trying to goad me into concocting a supreme grade energy transformation pill? Not so easy. Xie Yan said coldly as he concocted the pill. At the same time, Xie Yan looked towards Ning Yu, wanting to provoke him. However, when he saw Ning Yu's actions, he was momentarily stunned. Ning Yu took out an alchemy furnace and threw it above his head. A blue flame appeared on the fingertips of his right hand, burning the alchemy furnace. His left hand continued to throw medicinal herbs into the furnace. Xie Yan was dumbfounded by Ning Yu's action. What is Ning Yu doing? A martial artist asked curiously, "What else can he be doing?" "It's obvious that he's concocting an energy transformation pill," a fifth-tier alchemist explained. "If I'm not wrong, Ningyu is concocting a supreme-grade energy transformation pill." "What? That's impossible. Ningyu would not be so stupid as to concoct a supreme-grade energy transformation pill at this juncture. Nothing is impossible. Ningyu said that he wants to be the first alchemist to concoct a supreme-grade energy transformation pill in this alchemy competition." "Humph. Acting all mysterious." Xie Yan snorted coldly. He immediately grabbed the medicinal herbs and placed them into the furnace, one by one. "Done." Xie Yan had just started when Ningyu shouted. At the same time, he slammed his right hand heavily on the furnace. Xie Yan hurriedly stopped. He wanted to see if Ningyu could really concoct a supreme-grade energy transformation pill. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Time passed minute by minute. But Ningyu did not take out the energy transformation pill from the furnace. 10 minutes later, Ningyu shrugged his shoulders and said, failed. "It seems that a supreme-grade energy transformation pill is indeed difficult to concoct." "Ha ha ha, I thought you could really concoct a supreme-grade energy transformation pill. So it's just a silver spear wax head. What do you mean?" Xie Yan threw his head back and laughed when he heard Ningyu's sigh. However, before he could finish laughing, his expression changed drastically. His face was filled with confusion. "Done." On the other side, Li Tongtian shouted in a low voice. In front of everyone, he took out a round pill from the furnace. To be able to concoct an energy transformation pill in 10 minutes, Li Tongtian is indeed capable. Of course, Li Tongtian is the fake holy son of Danwu College. Concocting a low-grade energy transformation pill in 10 minutes is already considered slow. This is considered slow? Then how fast is it? There are rumors that there is a fake holy son of Danwu College called Hang Dong. Xie Yan only heard the first few sentences of the crowd's discussion. He did not pay attention to the rest of the discussion. I still fell into his trap. Xie Yan's expression was extremely ugly. He glared at Ningyu, then automatically blocked all news and began to concoct the energy transformation pill. Chapter 656. The Two Great Royal Cities. Chapter 656. Thanks a lot for this. Li Tongtian placed the essence transformation pill on the table and walked to Ningyu's side. "If not for you, I wouldn't have advanced to the next round so easily. Don't belittle yourself. With your alchemy skills, it's not too difficult for you to make a supreme essence transformation pill within an hour." Ningyu knew Li Tongtian's abilities. A supreme essence transformation pill was not a problem for him. Among all the alchemists participating in the alchemy competition, Li Tongtian's alchemy skills were enough to rank in the top 5. After all, Li Tongtian had relied on his talent in alchemy and not his martial skills to become the fake saint. Zhao Kuo and Rin Xiangtian are about to form their pills too. Ningyu wanted to say something, but his eyes narrowed as he looked at the first and second round tables. Bam! Bam! Zhao Kuo and Rin Xiangtian slapped their cauldrons at the same time and took out a round pill. Essence transformation pill. It had only been 10 minutes since the start of the elimination round, but Zhao Kuo and Ren Xiangtian had already refined the essence transformation pill. The elimination round is the time to show off your true abilities. Any carelessness will lead to failure, Li Tongtian murmured with a serious expression. The alchemy competition had gathered almost all the alchemy geniuses in the entire Great Xia Kingdom. After 3 rounds of selection, only 16 alchemists emerged. It was now the 4th elimination round. If they won, they would advance to the next round. If they lost, they would have to pack up and go home. In the 3rd round, he was still able to hold back, but in the 4th round, it was truly like the 8 immortals crossing the sea. each displaying their own abilities. Swish! After placing the essence transformation pill on the table, Zhao Kuo walked down the round table and flew towards Ningyu. Ningyu was expressionless as he watched Zhao Kuo approach him. He knew what Zhao Kuo wanted to do without thinking. Haha, Ningyu, let me tell you first. You will most likely be facing the fake saint of Danwu College, Hengdong. As expected, the first words Zhao Kuo said after he arrived were filled with complacency. Zhao Kuo's voice was very low, so low that only Ningyu could hear him. Danwu College has sent 3 fake holy sons this time. Hangdong's alchemy skills are very strong. If you want to compete with him on the same stage, think about whether you can refine a transcendent grade essence transformation pill first. After saying that, Zhao Kuo looked at Ningyu complacently. Can I ask you something? Ningyu automatically filtered out Zhao Kuo's question and asked, have you lost your mind? Or perhaps you're here to give me transcendent origin crystals again? Or do you want to kneel down? Upon hearing Ningyu's mocking words, Zhao Kuo's face turned livid with rage. Relatively speaking, losing the essence crystals to Ningyu was secondary. What made him feel most embarrassed was that he had to kneel down and admit his mistake to Ningyu in front of so many people. This was what he could not accept the most. Ever since he had knelt down to make the heavenly oath, he had been thinking about revenge against Ningyu all the time. Taking a deep breath, Zhao Kuo tried his best to calm himself down and said in a deep voice, don't try to win with your words. Since you're so arrogant, I might as well tell you another unfortunate news. People from Great Hill Royal City are here. Zhao Kuo said coldly, let me give you a friendly reminder. If you don't want to die, you'd better stay in Danwu College and don't go out. Otherwise, you'll die a horrible death. What does it have to do with me whether people from Great Hill Royal City are here or not? Ningyu asked doubtfully. It does, of course it does. Zhao Kuo grinned evilly. Situ Wen is from Great Hill Royal City. He didn't participate in the alchemy competition this time, which means he's most likely in danger. Back in the Alchemy Union, everyone knew that you had a conflict with Situ Wen. Now that Situ Wen is missing, you're the biggest suspect. Oh, right. I heard that Great Hill Royal City's Situ family sent 2 experts. Zhao Kuo paused for a moment, then told Ningyu through his soul. One of them is the Situ family's current family leader, whose cultivation base is at the peak of Yin-Yang realm. The other one is the Situ family's old ancestor, whose cultivation base is at the half-step manifestation realm. Swoosh! Ningyu's heart skipped a beat. With his current force, he was not afraid of a martial artist at the peak of Yin-Yang realm. But if he were to encounter a half-step manifestation realm martial artist, he would have no choice but to die. Although he was shocked, Ningyu's expression did not change. He said calmly, you're an idiot. Whatever you say is right. I don't want to refute you. Who are you calling an idiot? Zhao Kuo said fiercely. I'm too lazy to talk to an idiot. It's dragging down my intelligence. Shrugging his shoulders, Ningyu replied, there's a type of person in the world that will pull your IQ to the same level as him and use his abundant experience to defeat you. There's only one way to deal with this kind of person, and that's to use your fists. Swoosh! As he spoke, Ningyu slightly released his aura and quietly suppressed Zhao Kuo. I won't lower myself to your level. Sensing the aura emanating from Ningyu's body, Zhao Kuo's expression changed slightly. He glared at Ningyu, then walked away. Swoosh! As soon as Zhao Kuo left, Ren Xiangtian came over. Ningyu, the force behind Zhao Kuo, is familiar with the Situ family. You'd better be careful. Ren Xiangtian lowered his voice and said, Situ Wen is from Great Hill Royal City, and Zhao Kuo is from King Jie City. Great Hill Royal City and King Jie City are the only cities in the capital. There are many hidden talents in them, and they even have half-step manifestation realm martial artists. Seeing that Ningyu did not take this matter seriously, Ren Xiangtian hurriedly said, "Only a few people in the capital know about Situ Wen and Zhao Kuo's background. Ordinary people think that they belong to the Alchemy Union, but they don't know how powerful the force behind them is. Different situations call for different actions," Ningyu said. "Ningyu, half-step manifestation realm martial artists are not easy to deal with," Li Tongtian said. At this moment, Li Tongtian said, "I suggest that after the alchemy competition ends, you return to the Dan Wu Academy to participate in the Holy Sun test. As long as you can become the Holy Sun, even if a half-step creation realm martial artist wants to touch you, they would have to weigh their own strength first." "Thank you for the reminder. I'll think about it," Ningyu said in a low voice with a slight frown. Boom! At this moment, a sound rang out from round table number 3. Everyone followed the voice and looked over, only to see a sparkling and translucent medicinal pill in Xie Yan's hand. The pill emitted a faint white mist. It was obvious that it was a supreme yuan converting pill in Xie Yan's hand. Gulp. When everyone in the square saw the pill in Xie Yan's hand, they swallowed a mouthful of saliva and revealed a shocked expression. In less than 30 minutes, no, it should be less than 20 minutes, Xie Yan had actually refined a supreme yuan converting pill. This time was indeed heaven-defying. Crack! Crack! At the same time, 2 more cracking sounds came from the other 2 round tables. Pill explosion. Xie Yan refining a supreme yuan converting pill had a huge impact on Hihu and Sun Ku. It caused their pills to explode and they were eliminated from the competition. Cough, cough. There are 4 people who will successfully advance to the next round. They are Zhao Kuo, Ren Xiangtian, Li Tongtian, and Xie Yan, who refined a supreme yuan converting pill. Chapter 657. Pill formation at the same time whoosh. The expressions of the people around Ning Yu changed slightly when they heard the names of the 2 sides in the first round. Among them, Li Tongtian's face was filled with worry. Ningyu, Hangdong's alchemy skills can be ranked in the top 3 among the 8 fake saints of Danwu College. You have to be careful when you fight him. Top 3? Ningyu frowned slightly and asked, "How long will it take for Hangdong to refine the low-grade origin transformation pill?" "I don't know the specifics, but I've seen Hangdong refine transcendent grade essence transformation pills." Li Tongtian thought for a moment and said, "A month ago, when Hangdong challenged the projection of the saint, he refined a transcendent grade essence dissipation pill. At that time, he used about 15 minutes to refine the pill. But unfortunately, Hangdong still lost in the end because the saint's projection refined a transcendent grade essence transformation pill in 10 minutes. 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Ningyu's heart was slightly heavy. The last time he refined a transcendent grade origin transformation pill for Xikongling, it also took him 10 minutes. A month ago, Hangdong was able to refine a transcendent grade yuan transformation pill in 15 minutes. From this, it could be seen that Hangdong could probably refine a transcendent grade yuan transformation pill in around 10 minutes. In Danwu College, Hangdong has a nickname. Li Tongtian hesitated slightly, but still said, "Little Pill King." "Ningyu, you don't dare to go on stage?" While Ningyu was still conversing with Li Tongtian, Zhao Kuo shouted from the other side, "If you know what's good for you, you'd better admit defeat as soon as possible. Save yourself the embarrassment when you lose later, ha ha ha." Wait a moment. Ningyu did not even look at Zhao Kuo. He leaped into the air and landed on the first round dais. "Ningyu, among all the participants in the alchemy competition, there are 2 people that I'm interested in." Seeing Ningyu ascend the stage, Hangdong said indifferently, "You count as one, and that Xie Yan who refined a transcendent grade essence transformation pill counts as one. If we compete in refining inferior grade essence transformation pills, it would be meaningless. In my opinion, we should compete to see who can refine a transcendent grade essence transformation pill first. As you wish. Ning Yu did not reject Hang Dong, but nodded. All right. After receiving Ning Yu's affirmation, Hang Dong immediately took out his alchemy furnace and started to refine pills. Seeing Hang Dong's actions, Ning Yu's face darkened. In the next moment, Ning Yu also took out the pill furnace on his body and started refining the yuan, converting pill together with Hang Dong. While Ning Yu and Hang Dong were refining pills, Dan Qinzi introduced the remaining 8 matches. However, the majority of the audience's attention shifted to the first round dais. They wanted to see who among Ning Yu and Hang Dong would refine a transcendent grade essence transformation pill first. After all, they had heard Hang Dong's words very clearly. Others could not wait to refine inferior grade essence transformation pills. But these 2 cultivators wanted to refine transcendent grade essence transformation pills right from the start. It'd be best if their pills explode. Zhao Kuo said coldly from a corner of the square. To Zhao Kuo, he would be very happy if Ning Yu failed to advance to the next round. Dong, on the high dais, Ancestor, demonic Jew, slowly tapped his fingers on the chair under him, feeling a little angry in his heart. Dan Qinzi's arrangement of this match was obviously to make things difficult for Danwu College and him. Both Ning Yu and Hang Dong were Danwu College's fake holy princes. Letting them meet in the first round of the elimination round was somewhat unfair. Although Ancestor Demonic Jiu did not doubt Ning Yu and Hang Dong's strength, Dan Qinzi's arrangement still made him unhappy. If there are no accidents after this round, there should be 10 alchemists advancing to the next round. In other words, the top 10 will be chosen. Seeing Ancestor Demonic Jiu's unhappy expression, Peng Zhou hurriedly said, "In your opinion, what grade of pill should we refine in the next round?" "Simple." Ancestor Demonic Jiu pondered for a moment before slowly saying, "In the next round, the top 3 will be chosen." "What, choose 3 out of 10? Peng Zhou exclaimed in surprise. "Hee, there's nothing to fuss about." Beside him, Black Widow said with a smile, "Go and prepare 10 sets of the same herbs and let them combine them. Then, according to the grade of the pill they refine, the top 3 will be easily chosen." "That's reasonable. I'll go and prepare first. Please wait a moment." Saying so, Peng Zhou left the high platform and hurriedly went to prepare. "Old Ancestor Demon Jiu, in your opinion, between Ning Yu and Hang Dong, who do you think will be able to refine a transcendent grade essence transformation pill first?" After Peng Zhou left, the Black Widow looked at the 2 people refining pills on the round platform and asked, "A month ago, Hang Dong could refine a transcendent essence transformation pill in 15 minutes. Ancestor Demonic Jiu did not immediately answer Black Widow's question. Instead, he said, "In the next Holy Prince assessment, Hang Dong has a high chance of becoming a Holy Prince. The 100 Academy tournament is about to begin. Danwu College really needs a Holy Prince to support them. Otherwise, they won't be able to win against the other academies." Black Widow said solemnly, "Let's wait and see. I'm more interested in Ning Yu. Who knows, he might bring me a pleasant surprise." Ancestor Demonic Jiu looked at the round platform and frowned. At the same time on the first round platform, Ning Yu and Hang Dong were doing their best to refine the essence transformation pill. The speed at which they grabbed the herbs was very fast. Almost every minute, they would grab several herbs and throw them into the pill furnace. In the blink of an eye, 5 minutes passed. In 5 minutes, the other alchemists on the round platforms had only thrown half of the herbs into the pill furnace, while Ning Yu and Hang Dong had refined all the herbs. Refining all the herbs in 5 minutes, this speed is indeed terrifying. At this speed, doesn't it mean that they can refine a transcendent essence transformation pill in 10 minutes? Refining a transcendent essence transformation pill in 10 minutes? That's too heaven-defying. Heaven-defying. Just now, Xiayan used less than 20 minutes to refine a transcendent essence transformation pill. Ningyu and Hangdong are both Danwu College's fake holy princes, so they should be faster. The discussion in the square did not affect Ningyu and Hangdong at the round platform at all. It could be said that Hangdong was the strongest alchemist Ning you had met in an alchemy competition since his rebirth. Hangdong can refine a transcendent essence transformation pill in about 10 minutes. Although Hangdong was a strong opponent, Ningyu's heart did not fluctuate too much. On the contrary, Ningyu was still calculating how long Hangdong would take to refine a transcendent essence transformation pill. The tree that stood out in Lin Feng's way must be destroyed. This was a principle that Ningyu was very clear about. Therefore, Ningyu decided to form the pill together with Hangdong. This way, there would not be so much trouble. Buzz! Time passed, and 5 minutes passed quickly. Suddenly, the corners of Hangdong's mouth curled up, and he said to Ningyu, "I'll go first." Crack! As soon as Hangdong's voice fell, he immediately patted the pill furnace, and in an instant, a pill flew out of the pill furnace. Haha, what a coincidence! I formed the pill. Chapter 658. Soul Would Swoosh. Ningyu and Hangdong completed their pills at the same time, causing the square to instantly become quiet. 10 minutes. Only 10 minutes had passed since the two of them refined the essence transformation pills. In 10 minutes, the other alchemists on the round tables had not even refined a low-grade essence transformation pill. But Ningyu and Hangdong had refined a transcendent-grade essence transformation pill. Gulp. After a while, someone swallowed a mouthful of saliva, and the originally quiet square instantly became noisy. This is too unbelievable. Refining a transcendent-grade essence transformation pill in 10 minutes. Are you sure that the two of them are not 7th-grade alchemists? They are both fake holy sons of Danwu College. It is understandable that they can refine a transcendent-grade essence transformation pill in such a short time. Sai, in this alchemy competition, the 4 fake holy sons of Danwu College will definitely take the top 4. Hee, you can't be so sure. Suddenly, a 4th-grade alchemist smiled and said, Dan Chinzi's last disciple, Yi Tian, is also participating in the alchemy competition. He is on the 5th round table. Swoosh! Hearing the words of the 4th-grade alchemist, everyone looked at the 5th round table. They saw Yi Tian, who was on the round table, slamming his palm on the cauldron. Suddenly, a pill that was emitting white mist shot out of the cauldron. A transcendent-grade essence transformation pill. The shock that Yi Tian refined a transcendent-grade essence transformation pill was no less than that of Ningyu and Hangdong. This was because Yi Tian's soul power was only at the early stage of 5th grade. Meanwhile, Ningyu and Hangdong were at least at the peak of 5th grade. Although Yi Tian used 13 minutes to refine a transcendent-grade essence transformation pill, it was enough to shock everyone. One could imagine that when Yi Tian's soul power increased to the peak of 5th grade, he would definitely be able to refine a transcendent-grade essence transformation pill within 10 minutes. How can Yi Tian refine a transcendent-grade essence transformation pill so quickly? Ningyu looked at Yi Tian, who was walking down the 5th round table, and could not help but frown. No one knew Yi Tian's alchemy level better than Ningyu. In short, Ningyu did not believe that Yi Tian could refine a transcendent-grade essence transformation pill in 13 minutes. Are you surprised that I refined a transcendent-grade yuan transformation pill? Just as Ningyu was deep in thought, a voice entered his ears. I was wondering who it was. So it's Yi Tian, young Master Yi. Hearing the familiar voice in his ear, Ningyu smiled and said, What, young master, you still wants to compete with me in refining the origin melting pill? Without waiting for Yi Tian to speak, Ningyu continued, I admire your courage. You lost to me twice in Danwu College, yet you still dare to challenge me. I have to say, you are indeed arrogant. I'm arrogant. Yi Tian opened his mouth. He didn't expect Ningyu to be so eloquent. Actually, Yi Tian had not come to challenge Ningyu this time, but to make fun of Ningyu. But hearing Ningyu's words, Yi Tian changed his mind. His lips curled up, and he said, Since you're so interested, let's have another bet. Swoosh! With that, Yi Tian flipped his wrist and took out a small branch from his pocket. Spirit wood. Just as Yi Tian took out the branch, Hang Dong exclaimed, It's spirit wood. No wonder you can refine transcendent grade yuan transformation pills. Ignoring Hang Dong's shock, Yi Tian waved the spirit wood in his hand and said to Ningyu, Let's each use a portion of our soul power. As long as you can suppress my soul power, I'll give this spirit wood to you. Ningyu, don't bet with him, Li Tongtian said hurriedly. Although Yi Tian's soul power is only at early stage 5th grade, with the support of the spirit wood, his soul power can reach 6th grade or even 7th grade in a short period of time. It's fine. Ningyu waved his hand, indicating that Li Tongtian did not have to worry. All right, I admire that courage of yours. Yi Tian raised an eyebrow and said, If you lose, not only will you forfeit this alchemy competition, you will also have to give me 600,000 transcendent grade yuan crystals. Hee, you're quite the wishful thinking. You know that I have 600,000 transcendent grade yuan crystals on me. Ningyu smiled and took out the storage bag from his storage ring. Don't worry, 600,000 transcendent grade yuan crystals are here. As long as you beat me, they will naturally be yours. All right, let's begin. Yi Tian's eyes turned cold, and he immediately separated a portion of his soul power from his body. However, this portion of soul power first entered the spirit wood and then floated above his head. You can use your soul power now. I want to see whether your peak 5th grade or my early stage soul power is stronger, Yi Tian said proudly, as if victory was already in his grasp. As you wish. Ningyu's face was expressionless. With a flick of his wrist, a portion of soul power surged out of his body and quickly flew towards the soul power above Yi Tian's head. On the surface, Ningyu's soul power was at the peak of 5th grade, while Yi Tian's was at the early stage. However, Ancestor Demonic Jiu, who was on the high platform, knew the secret behind it. Interesting. Both of them are pretending to be weak. Old Ancestor Demonic Jiu looked at the two soul forces with interest and murmured, Yi Tian used the soul wood, but I wonder what Ningyu used. Yi Tian will really cause trouble for me. Dan Chenzi's expression was a little ugly. The spirit wood was a rare treasure, and Yi Tian actually dared to use it as a bet. If he lost, the consequences would be unimaginable. When the alchemy competition is over, I will immediately take back the spirit wood, Dan Chenzi said fiercely. The reason why Dan Chenzi gave the spirit wood to Yi Tian was so that Yi Tian could enter the top 3 and enter the pill cave of Danwu College. Otherwise, he would not have given such a precious spirit wood to Yi Tian. Ningyu, your soul power seems to be at a disadvantage. On the other side, Yi Tian raised his head and looked at the soul power he was suppressing. In another 3 minutes, your soul power will be completely defeated. Looks like your 600,000 pieces of top-grade essence crystals will belong to me. Is that so? I might have to disappoint you. Ningyu shrugged. Disappoint me? You too what? Yi Tian wanted to ridicule Ningyu, but his eyes widened when he saw something that made him tremble. Chi! Chi! In midair, Ningyu's soul power suddenly erupted with a powerful force. directly suppressing Yi Tian's soul power. Ningyu did not give Yi Tian the slightest chance and instantly destroyed Yi Tian's soul power. Pucci, with his soul power thoroughly destroyed, Yi Tian opened his mouth and spat out a mouthful of dark red blood. His complexion became deathly pale. Yi Tian never would have thought that his soul power enhanced to late-stage grade 6 by relying on the spirit wood was actually instantly destroyed by Ningyu. No, you cheated. The strength of your soul power is only peak grade 5. How can you destroy my soul power? Yi Tian yelled crazily. You can use the spirit wood. Why can't I use other things? Ningyu could not be bothered with Yi Tian. Both his feet stepped on the ground and rushed out with an extremely shocking speed. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.